In the White House, President Eisenhower signs the proclamation that makes Alaska's entry into the Union official, nearly 92 years after Lincoln's Secretary of State bought the territory from the Russian Tsar for $7 million.
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO. Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org. There you go, bud.
Oh, yeah.
There you go,
bud. Nailed it.
We're back. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
So it must have been pretty stank on him.
It was
to be-
heavy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was kind of a known deal, you know. Talked to the foreman. We're like, yeah, this ain't going to fly.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, it's not the first time. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
not like okay for that person, that
Yeah.
individual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But-
Okay.
Repeat offender.
Yeah.
And you just cover your ass.
Yeah, people don't realize how much really I mean, everyone knows it's responsibility being, you know, the pilot and the guy in charge, but and then sometimes there's this odd, it's not a power struggle, but I've noticed it on a couple jobs I've done this summer where you come in as the pilot and yes, you're working for them and their foreman, but then the foreman is looking at you for decisions on what you can and can't do.
Yeah.
And then the crew doesn't know who to respond to anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm just the taxi driver, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just flying this thing.
But then
there's like a weird leadership dynamic that unfolds.
And you got to try and step back and be like, yeah, I'm just, So I used to be dependent on the job. I'd get bored, so I'd go help or something.
Yeah.
But I had to kind of step back and then, no, I'm just the bus driver. I'm going to, take pictures or set my hammock up, right? That was a cool one. This last job, the last day we were up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had my hammock set up on the tower, taking a nap.
I bet all the guys love that.
Oh, they're like, must be nice to be the pilot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it must be nice to be the lowest paid guy on the job. Oh, they're all up there on Davis Bacon wages and 12-hour days.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you think for a second I'm making, quote, pilot money, no.
Yeah.
Well, we do okay, but it's not.
Yeah.
There's a misperception.
Oh, huge.
Is there, when like in aircraft, you have like those, I guess it would be like commercial or, carrying packages, those type of pilots that are like kind of like on that high echelon. Like, what is it for helicopters? Like, what's the gravy job that helicopter pilots want?
Oh, I don't know if there's a gravy job because they all have their downside. And some, like myself, I have no desire to do the, quote, gravy job. A lot of people would say EMS is the gravy job. Once you put your time in, you might be able to, like my old landlord out in, Palmer there at Wolf Lake. She walked across the taxiway. So she lives in a hangar. They got a super cool hangar house out there, right? Mm-hmm. And then her commute is walking across the taxiway.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of people would consider that gravy. She loves it. And then she got flight school on the side, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple Cubs and other work they do. But for me, EMS is not where it's at. It's a cool job.
Yeah.
They also have their own, set of
parameters and rules.
Or struggles are the downside, right? Mm-hmm. They fly at night.
Oh, shit.
They work 2 weeks a month, they're week on, week off.
Yeah.
But then 1 week of their month, they're on a straight night shift. So, you got your tone going off at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got to rub the sleep out of your eyes, check the weather and be like, can I fly NVGs up to wherever you're going?
Yeah. And they probably push the weather limit a little more.
No, they got super strict.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got super strict weather minimums.
How about like the Coast Guard? Do they?
Those dudes will fly in anything.
Yeah.
They
push to the
those
limit
guys
of
are
limits,
heroes.
right?
Yeah. So been kind of privy to a little bit of the deadliest catch stuff, right? So Maritime's flown the camera for that for 20-something years. However long the show's they didn't do it the very first year, but they've done it ever since.
When you say fly the camera, they're the ones that are getting the video of the
boats and stuff
the
in the
Coast
water,
Guard. Okay, so they're in the ship with the Coast Guard.
Yeah. Well, they're not flying in the same ship.
Oh, okay.
No. They're doing that
They pick their weather windows. Yeah.
Cinematography stuff.
But they're still a ways offshore, right?
Sure.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
We think as the viewer. I've actually never seen the show, so.
Yeah,
I've just seen
they
like
do a really
bits and
good
pieces
job
here and there.
Yeah.
I've never watched the whole episode.
Right.
Yeah. How many years can you watch someone fishing for crab, right?
I mean, it was a big deal, though. People loved it.
I still watch it sometimes.
Yeah,
I only started a couple years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because you see movies and shit, but then you hear on the news about Coast Guard rescues and you see videos and shit, and it's like, that looks like life-threatening shit.
Yeah, those dudes are legit, but they're also flying, $20 million helicopters with heated blades and 2 pilots and a crew chief and every bell and
the
whistle
equipment's
that
just
you
different,
could think
right?
of.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out there and not that, so I don't fly in that.
Yeah, no.
if you could have any helicopter pilot job, what would it be?
Oof.
What's like your personal dream job?
So I'm kind of going to do it next month.
That's
part of
no shit.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I'm going back down south.
Because that's not what you
dropping heli skiers, or what are you doing?
Right. That's a pretty good reason to go down south.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Women make everything go around.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So going back down there, she's got to finish school for a year, but so I took a job doing power line construction.
Okay.
So probably seen videos on Instagram. or wherever of, they got the linemen standing on a skid working on the tower.
Yeah.
Slinging people. It's called HEC, so human external cargo. So you you got an external load that can grab onto shit.
Oh, man.
Oh, okay.
You put them on the tower on ladders and they work, or you do mid-span work where someone's standing there. They're working on live wires, so they've got that rod and they ground themselves as you come in. I don't really know how it all works yet.
Yeah.
I just got the job. So,
is the equipment you're flying different than anything you've ever flown?
Different aircraft, yeah. So they're using MD 500s and 530s, which Temsco's got a couple. Saloy's got one left up here, I think. So you probably see one. They look like an egg.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what
and
you're
they
talking
sound
about, yeah.
super angry. It's like
it's like a military.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like James Bond.
Like, I feel like these are ones that drop like Black Hawk Down dudes. And I'm not talking about the big Black Hawk helicopter. I'm talking about these are the ones where they drop like 4 dudes down. Like, you know what I mean? Tight. So you're going to fly one of these?
Yep.
Man, that's cool. And what is your current one?
I'm flying so I'm in multiple aircraft right now. I'm flying a Bell 407, which we got pictures that I sent you.
Yeah.
And then a Bell 206. I think I sent you both of those.
Okay, so this is going to be your routine occupant, running folks, surveyors.
There's companies in California using these for line work.
Okay.
Just not.
Is that like a passenger? Is this the float things you're talking about?
Yeah, so those are floats. Yeah, we were talking about those earlier.
Yeah.
And then, so how do those floats work?
So you can arm them from inside the aircraft.
Kind of like the life jackets, like where they like feel a pressure.
No, I think I don't fly the 412, but the pilot that does, a friend of mine, he said those are supposed to activate automatically. Like a 407 or a 206, or there's a lot of 44s running around Alaska too. You've got you arm it on your collective and hit a button.
Okay.
And they just infloat in a couple seconds. There's usually nitrogen bottles.
I'm trying to find a photo where you have some floats on.
I got some there on the oil rig. That's on a 206. Down on the right.
Right.
That's on the Osprey. Yep. That's on the Osprey out in the inlet.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
So will the helicopter stay balanced in the water with those?
Don't mind the duct tape. That's FAA approved.
Will it stay balanced in the water?
No. So that's part of the thing, especially a 206. The 407 is a little better, but they're top heavy. So you're gonna hit, and you're gonna be able to get out, and then a wave's gonna hit it, and you're gonna roll over.
Okay.
Oh.
Hopefully,
you got seconds, kind of thing.
Okay.
I hope to never find out. But
yeah.
They kind of float upside down, I guess.
Okay.
I've never seen it.
Get out of the chopper, the whole thing.
That's the idea.
Yeah. I had an uncle that went down in a helicopter in Valdez back in like early 90s.
In the water?
80s, yeah. Yeah, you go out of Valdez, you go to go across the bay, you take that road around, there's a river. Is that the oh man, my cousin Phil would kick me in my ass for not knowing.
Towards like the Valdez Glacier.
Yeah, like you go around the bay to go to, like if you live in Valdez and you drive around every day, you go to the terminal to go to work.
Oh yeah.
There's the starts with an R, the Rogue River, Robe River.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Did it blow out? I think it blew out.
Oh. And
then you couldn't drive across the bay to go to work. So there was folks like my uncle who were techs that had to get over there to do their works. They were
at the terminal.
So they were flying guys from Valdez over for their shift, which is like, I think it's no more than a 3-minute flight.
90 seconds probably.
Yeah, to just boom, bam, and land. And a chopper went down. And I know that I remember him talking about floats. So in my mind, I thought it was like floats.
Like on a plane.
But I think now in hindsight, I'm wondering if it was something similar to this, because when they had to get out of the chopper, they had to get out of the chopper before it rolled upside down.
Yeah.
And then they were just holding on to it. And then boats grabbed them. And and
They were all okay.
pulled them to safety. Yeah, everybody got out of there.
Man.
Yeah.
It was just a slow, mechanical failure. They weren't flying high up to begin with. They weren't flying fast to begin with. They were just cruising over. And it was like, oh, shit. Boom, boom, boom. Rolled over. Boats got there within 5 minutes. They already had boats in the water in the beginning. And so, because I think they were running folks across in boats too. But there were higher level folks that had to be flown over for time sensitive shit.
Right.
So, but when you start talking about how it works, that got me thinking about that story.
Yeah.
So
shit,
once
right.
it rolls, will it continue to have buoyancy or?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Okay.
The floats will stay up.
Yeah. So then everyone just hangs on to those.
I think the idea is either it stays upright or you get your life raft out or.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Are these
We
equipped?
hope we don't find out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Are these equipped with the style of raft that's, say, like on a charter boat that's in that, there's like a container on the top of a 40-foot charter boat out of Seward. It's got that container on top. It has a life raft in it.
No, it's nothing like that.
Okay.
I've never actually seen it inflated.
Okay.
There's a bag that says raft with a little, kind of like your inflatable life vest that says pull tab.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah.
That's all I've ever seen is a
Bare
yellow
minimums.
bag with a pull tab.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing real too fancy.
No.
All right, so just to get caught up. We're with Forrest Krupin. All right, episode 133. So we talked earlier. We met, talked to you about Alaska Water Project. You're like, dude, I'm a helicopter pilot. I'm going on this epic run. I'm working the Ambler Road project. I thought, well, shit, you got to come back after your experience and come talk about it on the podcast. We stayed in touch all summer. All right. We recapped your insane voyage to get back to Anchorage to actually make it into the studio tonight earlier. And let's talk about, I know that your work up there was for a limited time, and we'll get back to that later. Tell us a little bit about that. And before we get into that, let me back up a little bit on the Ambler Road situation. Backcountry Hunters and Anglers is a huge supporter of us, a sponsor. We've had representatives, even folks not necessarily with BHA, but are supporters of BHA as they are anti-Ambler Road.
Yeah.
And so when I say that confidently because I'm not necessarily stating that that's my belief. I'm saying that there are folks that are pro-Ambler, anti-Ambler, mining, the whole thing. So when I met you, I found it interesting is you're a neutral person going into this project.
Yeah.
When I asked you about it, I'm thinking, you know everything about Ambler's politics. You're like, I don't fucking know.
I didn't even know what the project was.
You didn't know shit about it. And I'm like, oh, perfect. You have zero bias with this whole fucking thing. So I said, hey, document the fuck out of this. Keep me posted. Come back and tell us all about it. So I don't want to get into the politics about it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you actually even know.
A little bit, and I should probably say, if I sound opinionated, it has absolutely nothing to do with the company I work for, the company we're subcontracted to.
It's about the experience.
Cover your ass.
It's about the experience, right?
Spiel there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Thank
just
you
what
for
I've
that.
dealt with.
So I just found it interesting because you were going to be a sub,
Yep.
a contractor, working essentially to transport surveyors for the most part.
So we transported all sorts of people.
Okay.
And they kind of had it set up in phases.
So before you go into that real
Yeah.
quick, how'd you even get this job? Like, how did this even happen to begin with?
So it's just the contract that my company had.
Okay.
And they were
Okay.
like, hey, what do you want to do this summer? I'm like, well, do I get a choice? And they're like, no, not really. I'm like, okay. they were trying to get me to go on the icebreaker contract, which they support a Korean icebreaker with 2 helicopters. And I wanted absolutely nothing to do with that. It's ironic that I work for, right now, I should say. I better give my notice before this comes out.
You have time.
I have time, yeah.
Like tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. The name of the company literally says they work on boats and water. I hate boats and water.
Okay.
So they said, we're going to put you on a boat for 3.5 weeks with Koreans, and no one speaks English. No, thank you.
Can I get a different job, or
how-
is there another option?
You were into that one.
Door number 2 was, they're like, well, we got this Ambler Road project. I'm like, well, that sounds kind of neat. What are we doing? Well, you're flying a 407 all summer. I'm like, okay, it's a little bigger, nicer helicopter than a 206, right? And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Oh, you're going to be slinging all this gear and doing all this stuff. I'm like, well, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Long line stuff. That's my, ideal job. Because
Long lining means what?
so you're picking stuff up and putting it down. That's the really simple
Oh, long
job.
lining, like you have something that's
Yep.
dropping down, grabbing shit, lifting it, flying it.
Yeah, you got a remote hook, so
Okay.
someone
Okay.
physically has to. And I sent you videos of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me pull those up. Actually.
Yeah, there's I got a couple good ones where
Yeah, let
I
me
look
go
like I
back.
know what I'm doing. There's that one.
Oh, yeah,
or
that's a good one.
46-second one. That's that guy I'm bringing the hook to is wearing a GoPro.
And where's this at?
Oh, sick.
This is on the project I just came off.
Oh, that came in fast.
This is down in Yakutat.
We're using head signals. He's not a bobblehead.
Okay.
Yeah, yes to heaven, no to hell.
Oh!
So
You're watching his head.
I'm
movements,
watching
not his hands.
So he's got a bright green hard hat on with a
okay.
a red electrical tape plus on it, so I can see it. And here this is a generator that's going up to the site. So we're kind of getting the slack out of
What
the
does that
line.
weigh? Deception, it says.
Yeah, that's the name of the site that I was going
That's
to.
a deception.
They were about
Hills.
1,400 pounds.
What's the payload?
If you're low on fuel, you could pick about 2,000 pounds with 407, but we were going a ways, so we were kind of at max gross here.
Okay.
Wow.
So that's long lining, That's,
Okay. Okay.
Oh, man,
Thank
you
for
got right
elaborating.
up and went.
we try. That's another one. This is a different angle, different load, just a bag of something. Bring the hook down to him, and he grabs it, hooks it up, and you go.
Is there verbal communication between?
They've got radios.
Okay.
But the really fun part, and this is what you got to try and brief with your crew.
The delay.
No, there's no delay.
So loud.
I'm only 100 to 150 feet above their head in a running helicopter.
Yeah.
And they always grab the radio and try and talk. I'm like, dude, I can't hear shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like, bro, just
And you're
use
so
your head.
fucking focused on what's going on down there.
Yeah, so I mean, I've
How do you see straight down?
it's a skill. It takes a while
You
to
kind of
figure
just
out.
put your eye right on the edge.
No, so in this one, I took the door off. I think
Oh,
there's
okay.
probably a picture.
Oh, you had
could
physically had your head.
Yeah, you could see my little
Oh,
round head
yeah.
on the right side there.
Yeah.
That's
That's your head sticking
That's
out.
my head sticking out. Yeah, right.
Oh, you're looking
Yeah.
down.
Oh yeah, you're looking straight down. Well,
That's cool.
out of
And you have a
45 or so.
seatbelt on, of course.
Oh yeah, I got a seatbelt on. Yeah, that's my head.
Right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right there.
Yeah, I think it's close. Oh, that's awesome, man. All right, so you're long lining.
Yep. So they told me that I was to do all this on that job. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Yeah, I'll go do that. It's a 100-day contract. I'm like, excuse me? 100 days? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so what's the rotation out of there?
Not really.
Not really
anything.
sure you're going to have one. The one guy that's up there went with me day one, and he's still there.
Okay.
And the other
Damn.
guy replaced me, and we'll get into why I was replaced. There we go. I can hear myself again. So we show up, and we first got there, and they had us send all our sling gear back. It was a little bit of a cluster as far as some of the logistics, but they were running, in their defense, they had 5 helicopters they were managing from 2 different companies, and
It was pretty chaotic.
it was chaotic on 2 different ends. So we staged out of the Coldfoot camp, and then the other side we were staging at a Bornite mine, which is Ambler Metals,
Okay.
which is
Over near Kotzebue? Pretty
no,
close?
it's not that far. It's over by the village of Ambler. It's I guess from that side you're closer to Kotz than you
Okay.
are to
Yeah, from the highway.
yeah.
Okay.
But so you're actually closer to. There's another village over there. There's a lot of villages. I'd lose track, but anyway. So we get in there, and the first portion, the first 10 days, we were moving saw crews. So they're going in. Someone at a desk has decided that they wanted LZs at certain places for different we're just for lack of better, ologists,
Mm-hmm.
any form of ologist, or
Just many of all
engineers, or but before you could cut those sites, and this is when you get into the political nightmare, you had to take whatever the name for a birdologist is. It's not birdologist; they got a fancy name.
Yeah.
Right? They
Some
said
sort of biologist.
watcher.
yeah, bird watcher. And I kid you not, they go out there, so you got to land them close, but not in the LZ they want, and they got to be able to walk to it. So you got to find a cool spot to land, and they go walk, and they walk around with. They say this with a straight face. They have their tickle stick, and they walk around looking for nests and birds, and tickling bushes.
Yeah.
And you sit there while they do this.
Yeah,
and
sure.
then after that, you have 3 days for them to cut the site, and they're cutting. I think they're 90-foot diameter from the center. So then you bring the sockers in, and you put them in the insertion zone. And then after they cut the site, you got to go test the site, and if it's not good enough, you fly away and you tell them to fix it, or you land and you pick them up and you go to the next one. So that was neat.
And then after that, they fly in and like hydrologists and engineers
and engineers, and I did some work with the engineers, but then I got really lucky, and I got paired with a couple of dudes they were going to shoot the whole site with LiDAR.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah, from both ends, and they were using a fixed wing aircraft to do that. So the one guy, he would fly these crews out, and they'd set up their control points. But then I got paired with the guys who were mapping the river itself.
Okay.
So they were dragging the sonar that was mapping the bottom of the river.
Okay.
So they were surveyors mapping the river, but they were 2 super cool younger dudes. So we were goofing off with an inflatable boat most of the time.
Oh, nice.
Okay, nice.
And then they were like, "Oh, screw putting the boat." We put the boat in the helicopter one day, and they're like, "This is a pain in the ass. We're going to start slinging it." I think they just kind of wanted to sling stuff because it's cool.
Yeah.
And someone else was paying for it, but I didn't care. I just wanted to sling stuff too, right?
Right.
So we slung their boat around a little bit and had some fun. And
Yeah.
so
they ran this whatever device. What kind of device was it?
It kind of looks like. Have you ever seen those the hoses for like a pool cleaner where it's got these little balls? No one has a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Trying your best to follow,
Yeah.
right? So it looks like a hose with a bunch of burst. It's about to burst in a bunch of spots, and then there's some sort of sonar technology there that bounces, and
they're running it just down the bottom of the river channel.
they're holding it behind them in a boat, and they've got a 25 horse Honda jet motor on there, and they're just going back and forth trying to hold it in the right spot.
Oh wow.
And it's measuring something, and they've got satellites, and then it collects the data.
Yeah.
Well, then they have to leave their GPS for 4 hours to collect these points.
Oh, wow.
So you have to hang out for 4
You
hours.
have to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
So you bring a fly rod,
Yeah.
which
Hell
we
yeah.
weren't supposed to be fishing, but no one was really going to
Yeah.
come out there
Yeah.
unless I brought them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So I
what
was
the hell?
practicing casting because I
Yeah.
have never caught a fish on a fly rod. I caught myself. I caught my chest holster. I caught the
You got some good
helicopter.
photos, dude. You got I had a photo of you with your
Fly rod?
pitch and fly rod.
And that was when I went dirty mustache.
Is that on that trip right there?
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing?
Well, when you
Filthy
sent that to me
mustache.
earlier, I'm like, oh man, you're fucking catching fish.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, no, I practiced casting.
You've had a haircut since then.
Yeah,
Yikes.
I was looking homeless. There.
Yikes, dude.
It was a little gnarly. That's the Ambler Road project too, in a bug suit.
Right here.
That's the hoodie that got me in trouble.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah,
I have that hoodie too. The bugs were gnarly though,
the
huh?
bugs were so gnarly. State bird of Alaska.
Wow, look at the landing area, dude.
Oh yeah, you hang your tail so you don't hit anything, and no one can walk into it.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, so I'm hanging my tail over the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that Ambler?
Yeah, that was a portion of the Ambler project.
What
So-
river is that?
Oh god, I landed on so many rivers.
So the Ambler River itself, is it Ambler River? Is there an Ambler? What was the river you're
I
talking?
think I landed on the edge of like 7 or 8 different rivers in that project.
Okay, and you didn't keep track.
I mean, I could try and find it based on looking at a map, but
No. Don't worry about
I
it.
know the photo where I was flying
Oh.
sideways was, or not sideways, but I was kind of having fun so they could take a picture. That one there.
This one here.
That was on the Reed.
Damn, it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, that was an awesome day.
Oh man.
Were they doing that surveying thing with the boat deal?
That one, yeah.
Okay.
And I had to go move some other people, and they're like, "Give us a flyby so we could take pictures." And they snapped that photo, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one."
Man, it's really cool
Yeah,
shot.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn. And this has got to be mid-summerish. June, July-ish?
That would have been, June.
Yeah, everything's nice and green.
That's way sunnier than we had.
It was nice up there, huh?
Yeah, that was kind of a nice part of being up north. Besides the bugs, it was warm.
It was just nice in general. Because it was shitty down here.
Yeah.
The bugs were bad,
Oh, yeah. Wicked.
like cloud bad.
I think I sent you a video at some point of the
Oh, at
electric
the whacking
bug
the
swatter.
fucking bugs.
We
Yes.
had the
Just like
electric bug swatter. and it was
in
like-
the helicopter.
Yeah, so because they're obnoxious when you're trying to fly, so you got to be careful you don't hit the windows because they scratch. But yeah, we'd all hurry up and get in the helicopter, and then I'd give my passenger the bug swatter. The
Yeah.
electric bug
Oh,
swatter.
they had a job. Like,
Yeah, I'm
get
like,
them all.
kill them all before
Yeah.
we go. Like, fuck these things. And it sounded like,
Oh, it was like... bzz, bzz,
oh yeah, it
bzz,
sounded
bzz,
like
bzz,
nah,
bzz.
man. Like,
It smelled real
oh
good.
yeah,
Bug BQ. Yeah.
That was a funny video. We got to find that.
Yeah, because our Emily, Emily,
We've never met. It was an Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah, so she went up and got a grizzly earlier back in, I think, June or something like that, kind of toward the tail end of the season. And she has this horrendous video with that hide on the back. And she's got a head net on, and it's fucking... When you can see bugs in the camera,
Oh
We
man.
had that.
you know it's bad. And the videos you sent me... Actually, I'll go back and find one. And
It's bug 30.
Yeah, it was gnarly.
yeah, I'll let me see if I can find one.
That
I'll
original
pull it up
bug
in a minute.
jacket's where it's at. Like, the head net's not enough. Do you have one of those bug jackets?
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, you got to get one. It's a game changer.
What is it?
Well, I'm wearing it in that one picture, that green jacket. They've got like this lightweight material. That's actually, they can't bite through it like
Right.
everything else. And then you've got mesh down the sides for vents, and then the hood on top zips.
Is that this green one right here?
Yeah.
That's this one right here?
Oh yeah, it's a game changer.
And then it zips up like
that's
a.
a bug jacket.
Like
Bug
a-
jacket, the original bug jacket. It's called.
Oh man.
Not to just give
Yeah,
away free
let's Google that,
advertising,
man.
but
yeah, what the
They
fuck?
They can tell you the store that sells them in town. But
I never even knew that was a thing.
And then it's got like elastic on your waist. You could tighten it up, and then
So
your
they can't
handcuffs.
get up in there?
Oh yeah, they're legit.
Oh, shit. I
That's
have
pretty
that.
They
I
put
have
a
that.
net to shame. And the hood's big enough you wear a hat under it, so the bill keeps it out of your face.
I have the whacker video. There it is right there.
Yeah, I wish there was sound.
I can actually... Give me a second. I can.
You gonna Bluetooth it?
Yeah, I can
I'll
to
turn
the
this
road.
You gotta kind of hear it.
Yeah, give it a second. Now we're connected, I think.
All right.
Can you turn that up? The next one.
Oh, I
It's
got
not
the
working for us.
Bluetooth one up.
Yeah. Give me a second here. Yeah. It's not wanting to play, but here.
Is the sound up on yours?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But you're whacking like this is
Yeah.
what you guys is this your okay, you're a pilot on the right side?
Yeah,
That's your guy?
This helicopter you fly on the right side, so that was.
Oh, was that does it change?
The 530. You fly from the left. 500.
you
you
have
fly
to-
from the left.
Damn.
So you gotta get good at both sides, huh?
yeah, no shit. Like how does that
It's just a different, I guess, sight picture.
but the
The flight controls are the same, so none of that changes.
nothing reverses or
No.
doesn't it? Oh, okay. Okay.
Unless you
okay.
fly an A-Star, and then they spin the wrong way.
Oh.
Because, Eurocopters. The French do things weird. I think they're French.
So it
I should
goes
know this. I don't fly
counterclockwise.
one. So ours spin counterclockwise.
Okay.
They spin clockwise.
All right.
Why?
Because they wanted to be difficult.
Sounds about right. It's like working on
But
European
they're all
rigs.
over Alaska,
Oh, really?
Oh, A-Stars? That's like, everyone wants those.
Why do they want them?
They got some performance benefits, and they got a flat floor, getting stuff in and out, and heli ski, and they're very capable at altitude. I talk shit mostly because my buddies fly them and I don't.
Oh, okay. They're preferred.
It's
though.
like a Fortnite Dodge. Make that argument, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
At the end of the day, neither of them are, a Toyota.
A purple Toyota?
That's right, dude. I'm with you on that
purple's
one.
where it's at, man.
What is the official color of your truck? I think I had the paint code. I have to go back and look. I don't think it's nothing
blue.
purple.
It's
Black
perfect.
It's blue, but
It's black voodoo magic, though, man. It changes.
we called
when
it
it's
the
wet.
purple.
Yeah,
We called
it's
it
like
the
that
purple
Moonwalker
Tacoma when I
one.
was in the shop.
Everyone calls it the purple Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a manly shade of purple, though.
It's a pretty cool purple, yeah.
That's beautiful.
It's rad. It's a good looking truck, man.
Then you give it to Craig, and it just changes.
Goes full overland.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an enabler.
Did you do an iCamper on yours?
Oh, yeah.
That's the one, huh?
That's
Yeah.
where it's at.
Why'd you pick that one?
I got talked into it.
I mean,
What
what
do
did you know, right? Or had you done your research?
I did some research, and
Okay.
a lot of it came down to, they did a lot of testing with multiple different ones, and then they used them in their rental fleet, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then when he started talking about the fuel mileage savings of that hard top with it's kind of got a teardrop shape
Right.
to it.
Yeah. For the aerodynamics.
Because I have a cap on my truck, so I wasn't able, and when I bought my cap, I didn't know better, so I didn't buy a reinforced cap. So
okay.
my tent wound up on top of the cab.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it was a weight consideration,
yeah.
an aerodynamic situation, and trying to get half decent mileage out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
How much does the mileage change?
A lot. I think I've gotten, if you drive nice, you can get 16, 17 on the highway.
Okay.
But as soon as you put your foot in it with your mountain bikes, hanging off the back and tent and water, I got
full load of shit.
Top. Oh, yeah.
You're 12 miles to the gallon probably.
You got to have every gadget. You're not
Yeah.
you
of
gotta
course,
have your
dude.
fridge for your cold beer.
Yeah, you need a shower curtain
Oh, you got
to
to.
got one of
still
those
install
coming.
on your shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. There's another
little
gallon.
lady
There's
said she
another
wanted to
gallon per
shower.
hour. You're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna be down to.
I don't care.
You're gonna be down to 10 miles a 10.
You me going
gallons,
backwards.
10 miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
hold on.
miles per gallon.
Miles per gallon versus gallons per hour.
So
If
My
your
bad.
wife comes in and you're like, she finds out you could have a heated shower on your roof with a shower curtain,
That's pretty
and
nice.
she says she wants it, you're going to put a shower in your truck too.
Yeah, man. You can do all that, can't you?
You got to be careful.
That's what I wondered too about doing the shift from a full size SUV with a V8
Yeah.
to that 4Runner. I was talking shit about the entitled Toyota guy, and I'm like, I might sell,
Kinda
I want
sell the
one.
Tahoe and get a 4Runner guy. I'm like, and
Or
that's-
that new Sequoia.
Well, that's what I really
those things
want.
are
Is
savage.
but
They're so big, dude. They're
fucking
so
crazy
big.
expensive.
And they're way. Have you driven one? They're way too big, man.
I mean, I'm fine with the big
Define
car
too big.
thing.
Fuck,
Yeah, exactly. I'm good with the big.
I mean,
rig.
it feels bigger than when I'm driving my Tundra around.
I got 3 fucking kids, dude.
Yeah.
All right,
Sequoia's
loaded
where
up.
it's at.
Yeah,
You could put
exactly.
2 iCampers on there, though, like the divorce
The kid
rental. Have
one.
you seen the divorce rental they got?
What?
What's that?
The divorce rental?
That's what I call it. I don't think that's what they call it. I think it's more like two buddies
Oh
two
shit!
buddies want to rent one truck and camp together, right? But I keep calling it the divorce truck because they got 2 minis on there. They got a mini on the cab and a mini on the bed. So,
Two separate tents.
2 separate tents, yeah. So you got the kids in one tent,
Gotta have
you and
some
your wife in the
privacy,
other.
man.
Oh, okay. So it's okay.
Or a buddy in
Get
one
that
and
privacy.
you're in the other. You don't want to
Yeah.
sleep with your buddy. That's weird.
I
Is
mean,
it?
You got to do what you
It's
got
I
to
weird.
do.
mean, depends on how good buddies you are.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't think I've ever gone camping and my buddy stayed in a different tent.
Put
That's just
3
me.
dudes on a snow machine. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Well,
nuts to butts,
yeah,
boys.
Yeah, it is.
We are really good friends since that trip.
Yeah.
I mean, not because it got weird, just because
Well,
You
it got
know?
weird and
we just
you went
weren't
through
sure
it.
exactly how it was going to end. So
Yeah.
maybe we were the last people we were going to see.
didn't want to be cold.
Not at all.
You're going to burn down a cabin either way.
So you're long lining.
Yep.
All right.
Just a little bit. But
Yeah. So Ambler Road was a month-long job that was supposed to be 100 and
it's supposed to
100
be
days.
100 days total.
so that's hold on a second. That's a month and a week and some change.
3 months in a week.
I'm sorry, 3 months and a week and some change.
So you're like a third the way through this.
Yeah.
And what happened?
So got a little bored.
You're where, when, and why?
So I got bored, which young men often do.
Yeah.
And we weren't really trying to cause trouble, but one of the local operators up there, they had airplanes up there. I can't remember the name of the company anyway. They had these.
Probably for the better.
Yeah, probably. They had these hoodies that were No Road to Ambler with a picture of a moose that said protect our food. And we just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So they gave us one when they found out, well, you could have one of these hoodies if you wear it on the project. I'm like, okay. Give us a sticker too. And I'm thinking, I'm going to wear this.
And you
hoodie.
sent me a picture of the sticker on your water bottle.
Yeah, it was on my water
When
bottle.
you sent me that, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, you're okay. Like,
was
it's
getting
not
into it.
it's not frowned upon or whatever.
It's
Well,
poor life choice.
Yeah, in the time when you sent it, I'm like, oh, so it's loose up there. Like it's not.
So you'd be everyone on the project working on the project has their own opinions on it, but
Okay.
we were all just kind of bored, and
Because is there a lot of downtime?
you got a lot of downtime. You got weather days.
yeah.
There's a lot of opinions on the project.
A lot of conversations.
Conversations.
What are like the general, not from you, but just like the guys talking?
What's the vibe?
Yeah, what's the vibe
on it?
What's
Most of the people I flew, whether they were engineers, biologists, geologists, hydrologists, whatever they were,
Somethinologist.
ologists in general, or the ists. That's another name for them.
The what?
The ists.
Yeah, the ists.
They love it when you do that. They're like, hey, we got new ists. They're like,
God damn it, man. What kind of ist?
yeah, just another ist.
He's got a fucking really expensive degree. That's for sure.
They do. Some of the geologists are some of the better ones. That's a whole other story of what we were doing.
I love
on
geologists,
different
man.
projects. Yeah, they were
Okay.
cool. They had me collecting rocks by the end of this one.
Oh,
job I
fuck
did.
yeah,
they
dude.
were
Oh
cool as
shit, they sucked you in?
Oh yeah.
100% my favorite people to go in the mountains with. No,
They start talking about folding
regardless
rocks.
of personality, it's geologists.
Let's go back to that because I want to know that. I want to dive into that part a
Folding
little bit.
rocks.
Just like ists in general.
Ists.
Okay, but you're bored. A lot
Yeah.
of ists in and out. Conversation. Jack asked, what was the vibe? Like, what is the general consensus?
Most people are up there to do a job, to get their paycheck,
and they don't care.
but most people don't want it. And there's a lot of people who have opinions
Okay.
involving where the funding's coming from and that it's going to be a private road.
Yeah, the private road
But
part.
then it's going to be public someday. And they're like, well, that's how the
Maybe.
Hall Road was, but it's not. And then
Yeah.
they're like, well, it's kind of one of the, when you're out there, it's like one of the last untouched places I've ever been.
I mean, you've ever been, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of untouched places in Alaska.
Yeah, true.
But
I haven't ever worked, I haven't done much out west.
Yeah. But I agree. I agree about it being untouched.
So that's the general vibe. So they give us this hoodie, and I'm like, all right, I'll wear it. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna get some laughs, right?
Yeah. All my boys at the fire.
My mechanic may have fed into that a little bit because he was bored.
Okay.
So you're the only one rolling one of these? hoodies?
Yeah, everyone else is chicken,
Yeah.
and I kind of tend to be a bit of a prankster in general. Like, I'm
Going
gonna
out
do my
on the
job,
edge,
but
yeah.
I'm gonna have
some fun with it.
or-
Yeah.
If I'm not giving you a hard time, that's a problem. So,
Were you getting looks from the first second you put it on?
yeah. The people at the camp loved it. You know,
Yeah.
the people running Coldfoot Camp, they thought it was the greatest thing ever. And, you know, they're giving me like extra food and better, you know, lunches and stuff because they saw this hoodie. They thought it was great. But management on the project didn't think it was so hot.
Yeah. On the first like drop kind of thing.
They just
or-
kind of shook their head and laughed. And I mean, mind you, I'm fully expecting that I'm going to wear this hoodie and they're going to
Ask you to
they're
take
gonna
it
get
off.
a laugh, and I'm gonna wear it for a day. And at the end of the day, they're gonna pull me aside and be like, "Hey, man, like,
Don't wear it again.
don't wear it again."
Yeah.
I'm totally expecting that.
Yeah.
And this particular day, we wound up for whatever reason, I had to go to the other side of the job on the Bornite mine side, and these dudes didn't think it was as funny at all. Like
Yeah.
they legitimately, like the email they sent my boss was, this guy's a political liability and he's trying to get information from the inside. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're doing. I don't even care.
Oh no.
Oh, it was bad. Yeah.
And
So,
who were these people? Like, what were they doing
I
out
think
there?
they were the guys running the mine.
Yeah,
doing
okay.
the
It was the
exploration.
mine side. It wasn't
Yeah.
like the rest of the time you run in contractors, or it sounded like maybe like scientists for like environmental impact study kind of stuff. Like those people aren't people working directly for the mine.
No.
Yeah, and so this
we're all
is
subcontracted
right.
to that mine site, right? But most of them, they just thought it was funny.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have the balls.
they're
to
not
do it."
vested into it.
No. And there may have been a small part of me who wanted to go to a different project.
Okay. Yeah.
'Cause it
Like, I
wasn't
don't
that
want
fun.
100 days.
100 days. Because I started telling them
We're
after
like,
like 2 weeks.
day 33. You're kind of over it.
Oh, yeah. I was bored. You're eating the same food, sleeping in the... It's boring. I didn't come to Alaska to spend one summer in one valley.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it to get to this.
To escalate.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
such a
it
thing.
escalated. So I get back into Coldfoot where you got cell service now, and I land. I shut down, and I go to send my text that I'm down and clear for the day. I'd landed. We're done flying, and I've got this email from our director of operations that says, "Call me." That's it. 2 words. I'm like,
Oh,
That's a
shit.
director's statement. I get those texts all the time from a director I know. That's what it says. Call
It's
me.
like, there's something happening. You need to just call me right now.
exactly 2 words. Call me. I'm like, uh-oh, because this guy's already a man of few words. He's an awesome dude, but very few words. You'll go up for like a brief on a job, and it's like 35 seconds long. And he's like, "Got any questions? Ask Dennis." Okay.
All right.
I got a whole list of them. So then you go get your actual brief from someone else. Right? So anyway, I call him and he's like, "Well, good news or bad news?" I'm like, "Well, hit me with it." He's like, "We're taking you off this project because you've been asked to move. As far as I'm concerned, sometimes people don't get along. So this is our plan. We're swapping you out with a different pilot, and you're going to go do this. And I'm going to send you his schedule, and we're just swapping you out." Okay. And I get his schedule. I'm like, why couldn't I have this schedule to begin with?
And he was like, "I don't like you at all."
And then,
Is this the same guy who's still there?
oh yeah, Raphael's still up there, but he was stoked on it. So he
Oh,
gets
nice.
up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they swapped our schedules, and where he was at, he was hating life. So he came up to swap me out. He's like, "Dude, I'm gonna have a routine. I'm in one spot. I'm gonna have a schedule."
He likes that.
Yeah, he wanted to be able to do his CrossFit whatever workouts and
Okay.
know what he was doing every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna go to like 7 different places in the month of July, and you got to work a night shift." I'm like, "Is it a night shift if you're in the Arctic Circle in July?" Like,
Yeah. No.
I mean,
You can still see, bro.
oh yeah, no, we were working 24. So that was in Happy Valley. That was cool. And then I got
Okay.
paired with this other guy, who's now a super good friend of mine. He's
Okay.
a super cool dude. We got paired together. He taught me a bunch about slinging. I think I long lined on the Ambler Road project for 5 hours
Oh.
total in a month. And I went to this other project and got
Okay,
60.
and that's where those videos were from the other project.
That was last week.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So this worked out for everybody.
Yeah, it worked out. Yeah, I was stoked, and it
And
worked
the
out.
hoodie looks good on you, bro.
Yeah, I was gonna wear it. I was gonna wear it to the show. That was kind of the joke, but
It's been kind of warm.
it's been warm.
Yeah.
I had a hoodie I wanted to wear tonight, and I'm like, I've been fucking sweating all day.
Yeah.
The Upper Huffman one.
I was gonna wear my upper Huffman.
Ooh, we would have matched because we got the same hats, and I was gonna wear it too.
Oh, we do have the same hats. Yeah, I was gonna. I was like, man, I want to wear a hoodie. It's too fucking early. I've been sweating all day. I'm not wearing a fucking hoodie. It's actually cool up here for once.
Yeah, it is.
It's usually hot
nice
as fuck
today.
in here,
Yeah.
dude. Like
It's
sweating.
usually pretty brutal this time of year.
Damn, that's so funny, dude. So, did you?
Don't mind the mustache.
That mustache.
That's a
is
good
nasty,
one, man.
dude.
That's
The
a
girlfriend's
Heli.
never seen the mustache, so when she watches this video, she's gonna probably vomit. She'll be like, "What is that dirty
Why are
thing?"
you wearing that?
November's
it's a-
coming. She should get
That's
ready.
an Ambler Mine mustache. So so after you got to see the land, you got to talk to people. What are you thinking about this project?
I mean, I kind of get both sides of it, but I think the part that's not talked about is, okay, reclamation's a thing, but you can't just bring back tundra.
Yeah,
The
for the road site or for the mine site?
for the mine.
Yeah,
And then the other side is, to stay out of the politics. But the project group has been known for starting projects. Yeah, I think there's an abandoned railroad somewhere up by Matanuska Glacier, right? Mm-hmm. And
that are run by the same people.
Yeah, that's run by the same people, so that's kind of concerning. And, do they start the road and realize? So some of the numbers that were thrown out, and I don't have any validity to them. I haven't done any of my own research. This is just what I'm hearing from engineers and people on the project. So lower 48 to build a 2-lane highway, you're about $1 million a mile. They're talking about building a 2-lane dirt road for $10 million a mile. Where's that money coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where's the money come from to maintain it?
Maintain it.
All of that.
And where's all that money coming from? And why can't you drive down it and use it to access public lands?
Right.
That's bullshit.
And that's a good statement. That like, most conversations come up and it gets to be that like Star Wars-esque thing. It's like, it's good. You're on the good side or the bad side. It's like, I'm pro Pebble Mine, I'm anti Pebble Mine. Well, this one has this like third one, right? Because you got like the pro Ambler Mine people. You have the totally anti Pebble Mine people.
Yeah. Then
you have this whole group that is like, hey man, if the environmental impact study comes back where it's not going to impact us, it's going to be okay to build the road, and there's public access for Alaskans, then I don't know where I fit. You have this whole other, in talking to people, a huge group kind of in between. And that's just like here locally. What did you kind of get that similar vibe up there, that there's like kind of like 3 camps on it, or?
Yeah, I mean, when you're at the mine site, they're obviously for it because it's their job, right?
Right.
And then, but the villages aren't. What I've learned, so I've got to go to a bunch of different villages.
Okay.
Just throughout working this summer, or then we haven't even got into what I do in the winter. Last couple of years building that snow road.
Yeah.
But most of the villages want their life to be left alone because they live that way for a reason.
Right.
And you talk about building this road. Oh, well, it's going to put the village of Ambler on the road map. Okay. Is that necessarily good for them? Because now, you have access to all the problems that being on the road system does.
Right.
So I think, Bettles is pretty against it. I guess there's Bettles, and then there's the other little village next to it, and they share a runway, and one of them's
is
for
it.
it.
Kobuk?
No, it's I could look at a map.
Let me pull up the road real quick. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming the consensus is that they are not feeling it.
Yeah, Kobuk, and then Alatna.
No, it's actually the village is on the road alignment.
Shungak.
This is always the fun
Probably
game. Can you
saying
pronounce
that
it?
wrong.
Yeah,
Utqiagvik.
Yeah.
When you're up there, everyone still just calls it Barrow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even in Barrow?
Oh, yeah, everyone in Barrow calls it Barrow.
Oh.
Because they didn't spend the money to change any of the signs. They just changed the name officially.
Oh, really? When you
Everybody
go into
just calls
town?
Then the
Everybody just
borough
calls
didn't
it
want to
Barrow.
spend the money. Oh, yeah, everything just still says Barrow when you're up there.
It's been a long time since I've been up there.
I don't know why it's not
You're
pulling
not
up.
missing much.
Yeah. You see the blue football field?
Yeah.
Smurf turf?
Smurf turf?
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Why isn't it pulling up?
There. How about that bottom right one? That one right there.
This one?
On the right.
Right here?
Yeah.
I don't know why it doesn't pull it up.
And then
Right.
click it again. Where'd it go?
This one here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, it's not pulling it up. Weird.
Hmm.
So in general, though, the consensus is it's like why we're doing fine. Don't
That's
push a
pretty
road
much,
through.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, naturally, that's what I find myself in a weird spot with this, and we're not going to get into the politicals of it. I just did the Dalton Highway.
Yeah.
Ran up there, went to Dead Horse and back. And I thought to myself, man, there's so much human influence on this area, right? Where you look way off in the distance and you see a marker or a thing, something that...
Flyover, you could really see it.
Oh, I bet.
Abandoned roads and wellheads.
That's shit I never even saw.
Yeah.
This is just stuff from the road where I'm like, it feels like Galbraith to Dead Horse is like human fingerprints are on fucking everything around what is a massive, expansive, vast area of crazy wild wilderness. But the caribou were still, I don't know, they were laying behind a fuel truck in Dead Horse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
And I couldn't shoot them. I couldn't shoot them with my bow and arrow.
They lay under the pipeline, dude, to get out of the wind.
I saw 50 caribou running next to the pipeline on the pipeline road.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the easier way to go.
And I'm like, and I saw massive, expansive area where bird life and things were happening. And I'm like, I'm not so sure anything's really fucked up here.
No.
I mean, don't quote me on that. Like, oh, Brandon with Lost Koala Project says everything's good. No, but I'm saying I saw a tremendous amount of wildlife still doing its thing.
Yeah.
I think it's done in with like a minimal impact.
Very well said. I feel like, no, I'm not saying that that's how Ambler Road's going to be. But what I am saying is that Mother Nature in its glory and how it adapts and conforms, it finds a way to still do its thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't feel like watching the caribou running around up in the Hall Road. Are they using the no hunt area and an area to maybe hang out because they feel like it's safer there? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that they know. I'm just saying it was crazy coincidence that we're hunting caribou and all the big trophy, old, mature bulls were nowhere to be found where you could shoot them, and they were all sitting in town.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, what the fuck? That's weird. All the big old ones are where you can't get them.
Yeah.
But the younger, small ones are not in here.
Yeah.
They're with
They're
the
moving ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. But the muskox weren't
Oh, they don't care.
affected by it.
No.
They were still slothing around, doing their thing.
Totally.
All the beautiful geese and birds and waterfowl and things that were doing their thing, they're all still doing their shit. So, I don't know. I
mean, if they, it's like I feel like there's two different parts of this project. There's a mine, which has a way higher risk, right, of like some sort of environmental impact. I mean, that's obvious to everyone.
Without a doubt, it will have an impact.
But I think
one way or the other.
From there's two kind of barriers for the mine to be built, and one is, hey, we're going to be able to develop this mine safely, and pass an environmental impact study and all this stuff. But then they also have to build the road. So the road's like a pretty easy target for someone to be like, hey, no road to the Ambler. We'll stop the mine that way. So then I'm not pro or for, pro or against. I'm just saying, like, if someone wanted to stop it, they kind of have two avenues to attack. And I think that we're really good at building roads. We built a road in the 1960s to the North Slope, Alaska, that was built in a way that,
it's a marvel, dude.
Yeah.
Impacted, like what you're saying, like what are we, 60 years later? Fuck, man, it's 60 years later that, that's mind blowing that you're seeing like a minimal impact. We'll say, I mean, it's humans touch the one valley.
Sure it's an impact, but from what I saw in a very small sample size, I'm like, everything's still doing its thing up here.
Yeah.
From what I could tell.
So bring it back to the road. I mean, we're way better at building roads now. We do a way better job on kind of like what the guys you're taking out there, or the people you're taking out there, the scientists.
Could you imagine what was going on back then?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude. Wild West.
Uh-huh.
Totally. And so we're way better at doing all the pre-work. We're way better at understanding like the potential consequences for our work, which is like the purpose of these environmental impact studies. So like if it comes back that, hey, we can build this road safely, which is very likely, and it's up for public use, that's pretty good thing for Alaska, for in general, for people to gain access to our public lands. That's not a bad thing. Like, you got to experience part of Alaska that is amazing, that if the road to Prudhoe Bay wasn't there, like, you would never get to see this, and it's like, I get that we want to keep it pristine, and 100% we need to respect what villages and the people that have, lived on the land and continue to, subside on land.
Yeah, the impact on the indigenous
people,
folks that have been here forever.
Yeah.
But if they are able to build it safely, then, and there's public access, then that's a whole different conversation than like a mine going in where we can't use the road, in my opinion.
And then the mine only impacts a little portion of the area, which is insanely massive.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just a little pocket.
I mean, there's already quite the infrastructure out there. I mean, they've got a runway they could land a DC-3 on.
Okay. That was my next question, was they've already put a lot of money into this.
Oh, I have no idea how much, but millions. Yeah, there's camps and runways and fuel and vehicles.
Yeah. My perception is that it's going in.
Well, it was written...
Is how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm for it. I want it. I'm just saying it feels like everything that's going into it, however many thousands of dollars per day it costs to run helicopters and surveyors and pay maritime and its pilots to do the work that they were doing. I know that there's a risk in the return on investment situation, but if they're willing to dump the money in, like I have to believe they must feel like there's a good chance it's going to happen.
Yeah.
They probably feel like there's a chance. And I don't know.
I'm not saying it's like good or bad. And it gets back to the basis of it. Mm-hmm. There's just the right place to put a mine and there's the wrong place to put a mine. I think the consensus with Pebble was it ain't the right place.
It's right.
Bristol Bay. It's a salmon fucking mecca.
Yeah.
It ain't the place to put a mine.
And the type of mine too. Like, there's only been 11 of those built, and none of them have really a good record in Pebble. This is a different style of mine. It's in a different place.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's should go there. Again, I want to be very clear on that.
Yeah, we don't have an opinion.
No.
We're trying to understand.
But the point is, in the whole thing, outside of the fact that you're a dope dude, Forrest, but you did something very unique this summer. And you worked a project that not a lot of people had the opportunity to work on. And it was insane, the timing of it that comes off of, our BHA folks and members who are anti, save the caribou, the land, the everything, the reason why they don't want the road in there.
They preserve public lands.
Yeah, and that's fine. But it's just interesting that you actually were boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Seeing what was happening with the development of it.
Yeah. There's not much happening, but they're doing a lot at the same time, if that makes sense. Like, they're not building a road, but...
No. And I think it's still the environmental impact study that's in place.
A lot of engineers up there, too, though.
Is there?
Yeah, so they must think something's happening.
Well, they're all part of it. Like, because the engineers are involved with the scientists on, like, hey, this is the route. This is what we can do in this case. And so that it's all kind of intertwined.
Was this summer the most impactful on the process of it that you could tell since it started?
This is the first time I'd been up there, so I don't really know. It seems like they were dumping them. I mean, they were dumping money into it. They had 5 aircraft from 2 different companies.
Okay.
They're
and like you said, the mine site itself had infrastructure.
It looked like it'd been there a while, though.
Okay. Yeah, and there's probably some information we could probably look up on, like since the first building went up. But my like hunch is that we're in 2023. Some shit probably went down. Like, first soil break was probably prior to COVID. COVID put a fucking stall on shit. And now we fast forward 3 years. This was probably the first summer where they could really start moving things along. Logistically, clearance, permits, employees, fucking all the stuff that goes into such a massive
project.
process.
It's a huge project.
And I guess
A lot of front end loading.
someone knew it was happening a long time ago, because whenever they designated Gates of the Arctic National Park, there's an easement written into that.
Oh, right.
Whenever that happened, that's part of the argument. Oh, the gates will stop it. Well, no, they wrote this in there. Whoever they are.
Yeah. I mean,
They allowed it.
Yeah.
it's kind of like a natural path if you're ever going to put a road south of the Brooks Range to Kotzebue.
A lot of people say the road to Nome or road to Kotzebue.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, I think like there's a lot of, in Alaska, there's a lot of easements that you wouldn't expect, like through native land, through parks,
That were all written. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to break.
Let's do it. I have to break the seal.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters and outdoor enthusiasts with the highest quality gear and equipment since they opened their doors in 1963. Barney's carries exclusive brands such as Alpaca Rafts, Sitka, Sims, Exo Mountain Gear, Hilleberg, and much more. Barney's prides themselves with keeping a huge stock on hand of various top-of-the-line tents, footwear, sleeping bags, optics, cross-country skis, just to name a few. Barney's is also the exclusive retailer of Montana knives, Seek Outside, Kafaru, Stone Glacier, and their in-house brand, Frontier Gear of Alaska. Barney's has a superior selection of top-rated boots, sleeping bags, dry bags, mountaineering gear, electronics, and accessories. Need freeze-dried food or mountain snacks? They got that too. Barney's now has an amazing new paperback catalog available for in-store pickup or online order. Visit them today at barneysports.com, or even better, stop by the store in Anchorage at 906 West Northern Lights. If you want the best, there's only one name in the game, Barney's Sports Chalet.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaska public lands, waters, and wildlife. From national level policy work to engagement with boots on the ground projects from Kotzebue to Ketchikan. BHA performs public land cleanups, hunting and fishing clinics, and community education to help take your game to the next level. BHA's community-minded goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping wildlands wild and fostering the next generation of sportsmen and women for years to come. Make sure to follow BHA Alaska for upcoming events, local brewery pint nights, and more. Stand up for Alaska public lands and waters by supporting the Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. Join us today at backcountryhunters.org.
The Treehouse AK, your one-stop dispensary located at 341 Boniface Parkway. When you pull up to the Treehouse, you'll notice the beautifully hand-drawn art by Alaska's own Ted Kim. Once you get inside, you're going to see many of the same people that have been there since they opened. The bud tenders know you and what you like and what new product you should be checking out. The store is super clean and the music's always on point. The Treehouse and local owner Josh Boots is a staple in the cannabis culture through his music, community givebacks, and a lifetime desire to bring the people of Alaska the best products available. The Treehouse always has at least 25 strains available, and they're all shown prominently deli style in clear, openable jars so you can see and smell your options. Other products include edibles, concentrates, vape carts, pre-rolls, flour, dab rigs, and anything else you need, they got it. They also have some pretty sick merchandise for sale. Check out thetreehouseak.com, or better yet, stop by the Treehouse today and get started on their loyalty program. Remember, you must be 21 years of age to enter their store. The Treehouse, where the culture lives.
Big Ray's, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Ray's has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. At Big Ray's, you'll find brands like Carhartt, Grundens, Darn Tough, FXD, Okiwear, and more. Big Ray's is your one-stop shop for both outdoor gear and rugged work attire. Check out their new exclusive line of durable but affordable waders, inspired by and named after the majestic Aralik River in remote western Alaska. The Aralik wader was designed by Alaskans and proven for the diverse waters of the last frontier.
Visit Big Ray's at any of their 5 locations statewide, 2 in Anchorage, 2 in Fairbanks, 1 in Kodiak, or check them out online at bigrays.com.
Tailored Restoration, helping Alaskans turn disasters into new beginnings since 1972. Their 24-hour services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, and repairs. Tailored built its reputation with years of committed and reliable service to the community with innovative restoration and home remodeling. When you have an unexpected home issue at the most improbable time, Tailored has an emergency response number with trained professionals available to help you anytime, day or night. Tailored Restoration has locations to serve you in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Give them a call at 907-344-1239 or make an appointment today at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlander products. If you want to customize your vehicle, talk to the team at Total Truck, where you'll find their expertise along with top brands such as ARE, RSI Smart Caps, Goose Gear, iCamper, Frontrunner, Rigid Lights, Rhino Lining bed liners, and everything you need to outfit your truck or SUV. Want to turn your truck into a sleeping option? They have rooftop tents, custom camping equipment, electronics, and solar energy packages to keep you powered up deep in the backcountry. Stop by their store location on Dowling between the new and old Seward Highway, or check them out at TotalTruckAK.com.
All right, we're back live.
Yeah, the Solars are... There you go, Forrest.
You got a caribou call going?
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Brandon, I'm going moose hunting.
What?
Not tomorrow, the next morning.
Okay.
And
you're not leaving early?
Man, it would really be a treat to hear a moose call, man. Like, give me a real sweet one. Like, you don't have to do your big loudest one, just like a real nice sweet one.
A cow call?
Yeah, cow.
All right, I'll do a little cow call.
I really enjoy that, bud.
I know. I was thinking about. So we're doing a little weekend warrior scout mission this weekend, but it's just too early.
Super early
to call. Like Daniel
in
and those
South
guys
Central.
Yeah. We're just gonna go right out of town in a couple hours.
Here though, like where Daniel's going and stuff, and I mean I'm going a lot further than him. Within the week.
Yeah,
if we have some cold days.
I'm not saying that you can't call and get something to maybe be curious.
Yeah.
I know in our early hunts up in the interior, we go up and we're like, oh, calling's not going to be effective. And then we call and something comes in a couple of days.
Yeah.
It doesn't come in that night or the next day, but it's like days. At least they hear it, they know it, they feel it.
Yeah.
And they come check it out at least. I'm not saying they're coming in grunting and swaying horns and doing the whole like September 22nd type shit.
Gluck.
Yeah, they're just there's like some action happening now. I feel like sometimes if you get into an area that is moosey and the moose are spread out and then you come in and you start calling, you might sometimes start a ruckus.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be the catalyst for
we hear the cows,
an orgy going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you do a call?
Yeah.
Do you call, or does your dad call?
No, I don't hunt with Dad, but I call.
Hold on a second. You go to camp with Dad, but you don't hunt with Dad?
But, we all split up because the hunting. I've told you about the hunting in there. It's pretty gnarly.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So we split up. I mean, sometimes I'm with Dad. I always spend at least like couple of evenings with him, but not, and we're together during the day, except for I believe in that lunar hour. So I'm up, look at a high point during lunar hour. But yeah, we spend a lot of time together. But I mean, we hunt in a lot different terrain than you guys are at. So there's a lot of boots on the ground and look at just like all the draws, all the different features we have to get into. You're not going to see a moose out in the open there.
Right.
So,
you got to draw one out.
Yeah. Or just like a lot of there's a couple good viewing spots. So you could see something moving through for sure from there. But like the people that could actually like make an attack on the moose, like they're walking through spots that are hard to see from a viewpoint. And you can see different meadows and different little viewpoints, you know, but a lot of them.
Small space.
So there's a lot of independent hunting there.
Right.
So yeah, I call. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys ready?
Sure.
You ever done a cow call?
No.
You ever had a reason to do a cow call?
No.
You gonna have one soon?
All right, I'll just lay out like a general. I kind of like belt out a crazy loud one early in the morning, but then my like late morning, early afternoons are just kind of cute little short ones. So I'll run one of those.
That's the cute one.
That's a cute one.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's pretty
No,
intense.
because my early morning is like a fucking 20-second.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to like I do. I've got a cool video of it. Actually, start down low by my knees. I like hunch down, and I like
and then come
I
up.
come up and like belt it out. So it kind of like
That takes
simulates
practice.
it in the brush, and then it
Yeah.
like waves out, I guess.
Yeah. Do you ever do the what do they call it? That it's the moose call. It has a name.
The bull magnet?
Yeah, thank you. The bull magnet.
Yes, I do the bull magnet. I stopped using the bull magnet for the scraping though, because it's too like
it's fake.
And it like echoes
Yeah,
weird.
totally.
But if you use it right and you put your hands around the Forrest, so a bull magnet call is a fiberglass funnel
Okay.
that has like a tube about like that at the base, and then it has a shaft of about maybe 4 to 6 inches, and then it widens out almost like a megaphone.
Okay.
All right, so it has dual use. You can call and use it as a megaphone. You can use it as a megaphone for sound out.
Yeah.
What's for hearing? So you can put it to your ear and it like funnels the sound.
Yeah.
Because obviously humans, we have horrible hearing.
Yeah.
Humans have horrible hearing. You can't hear shit, but you can hear a moose raking and glucking. For some reason that you can pick that shit up. And then the edge of it, they say you can scrape it and smack it in the brush, but it sounds like shit.
Yeah.
But if you take it and you hold it and you scrape it on
Rub it on willows or something.
on a spruce tree,
Oh.
like just like scraping the bark off it, it just sends out a very fairly realistic sound of antlers scraping. I mean, there's nothing like a wood paddle or a boat paddle or something like that. That's like
Or a scapula.
or a scapula or an actual antler, like a drop horn.
Yeah.
You can just rake. I mean, there's just nothing that is any better than that. But we do have a magnet. We do run a magnet up there. I use it in general for calling, but once we get a moose to start responding, coming close, we put that shit away.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
No more of that.
We're really quiet with our calling.
Yeah.
We call really quiet, and it's pretty amazing. I didn't buy into the quiet calling. I mean, until about like 6 or 7 years ago, and then I was sitting with Earl, and man, I mean, his calls were like,
Yeah, they can barely hear it.
like I could barely fucking hear it. And then he has like a solid. Everyone has their own routine. His routine's pretty money. It's like on the dot at 4:30. He does a couple of those, and then he waits like 30 minutes, and then he'll move like 300 yards, and another couple of those, and then he waits to like 7:15, and then lets out a bull grunt, and then he gets a response, and you're like, what the fuck? That was so quiet, and it just it's so much different than like how we normally call or how most people call that I hunt with. And then the bull magnet is like 10 times louder than that. Yeah. So I always figured like the bull magnet is like, okay, I've been calling for a couple days. I've had no response. I haven't seen anything. People at the high points haven't seen any response. So like, let's pull out the bull magnet to try to draw animals that are miles away towards us. Even when I got that moose a couple years ago, we told the story on with Dad and stuff, but we were on top of a hill. We're a mile and a half away, and Dad was calling, and I was looking through the spying scope right before dark, and his first call wasn't loud, and immediately the moose looked up right to where we were at, then put his horns down in a marsh and like break like the little baby willows. You'd never hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and then the next day I killed that moose. So, you know, it came a mile and a half from a few calls that were quiet. So I always wondered about like people's feelings on how loud, you know, we should be, you know, because the moose are quiet when they're calling. They're not loud, you know?
No, not typically. Have you ever heard a cow actually call?
I've heard, not the call that we just did.
You hear them at night.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard cows doing that like at night.
Oh, okay.
And I've heard cows make sounds having bulls around. So
Yeah.
I've had like two small bulls together, and then a cow came out of nowhere, and the cow made like a grunt.
Yeah, it's like the
bull.
asterisk.
Yeah.
Asterisk.
Yeah, and
or
I'm
whatever
like,
it's.
oh shit, that was nothing like what I'm told on YouTube videos and all this other shit on how to call,
Yeah.
you know? And I think it's up for, there's an endless conversation, argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, on it. My cousin calls really quiet. Mm-hmm. His calls are subtle, quiet. I always think like, she ain't shit gonna hear that.
Yep.
He's called in lots of bulls.
Yep.
Like bulls that have like run in with their fucking little goat things swinging.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Just
I'm ready.
Not crazy,
Yeah.
dumb, come right to you.
Yeah.
And then there's times where I felt like my calls loud, obnoxious, reach out and touch somebody, because we've had bulls that we've called on a Tuesday morning at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, first light, come in tomorrow night at 7:30.
Yeah.
And you knew it was the same bull. You counted brow tines. You're like, oh, that was that bull down there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like it had to be that loud, long call for him to hear us from 2.5 miles away.
Totally.
There's no way he heard.
No.
I feel like there's
No,
way
no,
heard
he didn't
Phil's
hear that
call.
one. Yeah.
He called the ones in that were happened to be close by we didn't know about.
Right.
Versus those ones that we knew came from fucking Timbuktu.
Right. Yeah. You're like, it's that tactical close stuff with the quiet. I agree on that.
I don't really have like I have a process. I don't have times, which is kind of cool. He does like the 4 o'clock.
He's
and
right on time.
7:15.
There's a lot more stuff to it than that. But yeah, there's like scraping that's like exactly a certain time.
And I started off early calling too much, I think. And then I started like leaning it back. And I'm like, I don't need to do it every 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Because you just get bored.
Yeah.
You get bored. You call and you wait 2 hours and you're like, should I call again?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, go for it. Like, fuck, what do we got to lose?
Totally.
You know, and it's like, sometimes I think, actually, I don't think I know, you can call too much and you can make a moose feel like something ain't right.
Oh, totally.
You know, they're like, this shit ain't natural. And then they go away and you're like, what the fuck happened? When a dude made one call and this thing came from half a mile away.
Yeah.
You know? So
I'm with you on that.
I wish the best of luck to you. I don't think where we're going this weekend is going to be, am I going to call? Hell yeah. But is it going to do anything? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and we're going to be in thick brush.
Yeah.
We're not going to our traditional 2,500 foot above alpine. We can see 2 miles away. We can see moose walking in the meadows and critters around, and at least it's action. So you know, if you see
that
something,
sounds awesome.
Yeah, when you can see, even if it's a cow just walking, everybody's just zoned in with their glass like moose.
Yeah.
At least it's something. Versus I'm sitting in a meadow that has like 100-yard radius, and you just call and nothing's really going to come in and you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to hunt. That's what we're going to be hunting this next, which is going to be completely different. And I think it's going to have a whole different feel. We have to be patient. We have to know that it's a process and put time in, and I don't really want to shoot something with a bow and arrow. So I'm 100% dedicated. I'm going to try to get one with a bow.
That's cool.
I think I'm going to have to wait till later, though.
Yeah, if you can go in, like 18th,
Yeah, and I think you could get lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
Catch one bedded or just be in the right area, or I think, too, when this early, you can get one just curious. He's not going to come in grunting and swaying and doing the thing, but he might just pop in and be like, man, I heard some shit over here. Figured I'd check it out.
Yeah. What we find is we'll get some like scrapes and stuff early, but they stay in cover. So that's always been our problem with the early
hey, I'm over
hunt.
here, but I'm not going to let you know or see me.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of scraping, but you get some, and then it kind of like you can't get it out, But then come like September 8th, and get some cold nights.
Yeah.
Then we're able to pull that bull out.
Yeah.
With the call. But yeah, we'll work on that bull. We'll give it a break. But they usually they stay in the same area, really.
Yeah. Why would he move from a place where he's got food and
not until it's rut?
Yeah, he's not going to get out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hanging out here for months. I don't need to move until I'm ready to get my wood hard.
If the cows start coming out there, though, and they start grouping up, it'll draw them out,
I'm also worried about the winter kill.
Yeah.
I've heard the winter kill just in general statewide has been brutal.
So I was talking to Galen Nelson, one of our guests. Yeah. Shout out to Galen. And they just got back from their hunt. And
Wildcat. Right?
They got one.
Or Wildcat? Or no. What was that? His school in Glen Allen?
Oh, fuck.
Is it Wildcat? Firecat?
I think it was Firecat. No. I'll think of him.
You got to go back and listen to that episode, dude.
That one's so funny.
I haven't laughed. That might have been the most laughs in a
podcast.
podcast.
For sure. Galen's one of the funniest people I've ever met. So I saw him today.
They got a moose?
Yeah, they got a moose. Yeah, he got a moose already. And
in velvet.
Yeah, in velvet. And the report is that they saw just a tiny fraction of the moose they normally see. Then, just flying this summer. Man, I didn't see a lot of moose in South Central.
Yeah, I mean, if they already got a moose, they got the 25th opener. So,
yeah, I think they're part of a community.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, so with the last thing before we get back, so with the pitch or the loudness of moose calls, the gluck has always been the loudest, which I would think would be, for me at our camp, natural moose making a sound. The gluck by far 10 times louder than anything else I hear a moose do.
Forrest, you know what a gluck is?
I don't.
Can you do a gluck?
My gluck sucks.
Oh, I'm doing fuck. I don't think I can.
But a natural moose gluck is fucking legendary and loud.
Yeah, it's super loud.
Carries it's deep. It's their grunt.
Yeah.
So when they, you call a bull in, he might scrape and do his thing. But when they're coming in for them to help their surroundings recognize them, they let out a grunt. It's like a ooh, ooh, ooh. But it's fucking, you feel it in your soul.
Damn.
When you hear a moose naturally glucking close enough to where you can hear it. It is so distinct. You can be sitting there glassing and wind's blowing or there's sounds or there's just distractions.
Yeah.
And then you hear a moose gluck, you're like, oh shit. Everybody's like, stop. Did you hear that? Yep. You hear that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And they just come in like just glucking. Like it's a gluck, I guess is.
Yeah, well there's the grunt and then which is like that, and then there's this, and the gluck is a little different. The gluck is like this, like it's like deeper in the chest than like what I would consider a grunt. I'd say
the gluck comes with when they get so close that they start flashing horns. No, that is not it.
I'm trying to find one.
No, it's It's like a dick sizing contest kind of a thing. You know, it's the Gluck, and then it's the horn flash, and then it's like the full blown fucking chest pump, and it's like sizing up for a fight, or you know, trying to find a female.
Sounds like pilots in the Palmer Bar.
Yeah.
Is that how it is? I fly at 206 with floats, motherfucker. What's your status?
Oh, it could be horrible.
Is it that bad? Who's more egotistical, a Cub pilot or a helicopter pilot?
A helicopter pilot, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
type A.
so I've never flown. I've flown in a Beaver.
Okay.
And I feel like if I told you I've flown in a small aircraft and I said I've flown in a Beaver, you'd say, oh, that must be nice to fly in a Hercules. Like it's a big ass small aircraft.
They're pretty sweet.
Yeah. Super Cub is a glider.
I've never been in a Super Cub.
The way I look at it is it's like a fucking glider. It's very small, two dudes, minimal gear, right? But then a helicopter is, I've never flown in one, but I've heard it's just fucking bouncy and
Not
it's
really.
a whole nother level. I mean,
If you're in turbulence.
in Hawaii, I've heard of helicopters in Hawaii. I guess it's like super bumpy.
Oh, I don't know how to text my buddy.
Yeah.
He's flying over there, but yeah, he got sick of Alaska.
You got sick of Alaska?
Yeah, he wanted to go hang out on the beach with his
Yeah,
girlfriend.
there you go.
You know, but
It's beautiful scenery
yeah, for some.
for some. Yeah.
So you think it's choppier than like say you're flying at the same speed and the same size aircraft. So like, you know, whatever that is, like a Cessna with, you know, this 206 that you're flying, like what would be, or is it 206? 207?
I fly 206 and a 407.
Okay.
But,
But equal size aircraft through the same conditions, do you think it'd be more?
I think the airplane's going to be bumpier.
Yeah.
It's a bigger,
really?
bigger surface area on the wind. Oh, yeah.
Because
on
the wings.
wing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll get beat to shit. Where a helicopter's just, you know, a little blade.
Just kinda
Depends
cut
That
on
makes
the aircraft,
sense.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
The 407's super stable. Like we were coming back today, and you know we were up 6,000 feet, taking 35 knot winds, and it was fine.
Oh, really? It
Yeah,
wasn't
didn't even-
bumping.
no. I've been in the
man.
inlet with 55 knot winds.
Huh.
And
Like
just
coming across
doing
from
its thing.
Nikiski or Kenai or something.
I was at Trading Bay, going back to Homer.
Okay.
So there's not a lot to make turbulence out there. It's pretty flat,
Okay.
just on the water. But yeah, we were hauling ass.
Okay.
It seems like one real advantage that like we think of like advantage of like, oh, you can land there to go fishing. But like another real advantage of the helicopter is like, say you're going over a mountain pass and you need to gain a certain amount of elevation on your way up. And with the airplane, you're like, oh man, we might not make it. But with a helicopter, you could just stay in place and go straight up, right?
Not exactly.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, because in a hover, you have less performance than if you're in forward flight.
Okay.
So
Could you
you
slow
could
it?
circle, yeah. You could,
Oh,
there's
okay.
things
Circle
you
around.
can do. It's more maneuverable, but it's still you still gotta be careful.
You can't
Okay.
just
You could
straight
run out of
climb
power.
up.
Yeah.
No.
You can't be like, oh, okay, we're not going to make it. We're going to go straight up.
Because the first thing to do, you start flying little helicopters, and they're super weight sensitive, and then you get into something like an R-44, which is barely bigger than an R-22, and they're still weight sensitive. And the first thing they do is try.
Are those like the Magnum PI, like bubble
that's a
helicopters?
500.
Okay.
That's the Mag. I was trying to think of that earlier when we were talking. Yeah, the 500 is the Magnum
Okay.
helicopter.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you're on the glacier?
No, that's a 44. You're talking the one when we did that photo shoot. Oh, hey, there's me and my hoodie that
There's
got me in
that
trouble.
lovely
Oh,
hoodie
never
that
mind.
got you fired.
Yeah, that was this one. So that's an R-44 that was flying last summer for Alpine. Doing
Okay.
tours. This was a photo shoot with a guy John Dirting.
Cool.
For PR. Same with that
Same.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took this dude to these giant glacier pools on the Knik,
Yeah.
these big running rivers on Colony, and we're coming back over Lake George Glacier, and he's like, oh, I want to stop at that pool. And I land on this stupid little crack. Like, I mean, okay, that's really cool if you've never been to Alaska or been on a glacier, but to me, it's like, it's this stupid little 6-inch crack.
Yeah.
He got so damn excited.
He's like, I'm on a crevasse.
We were there for 2 hours because just the way I parked, it was like, oh, this is so perfect. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah. It was beautiful though. That
Yeah,
looks
it's gorgeous.
Is that the spring? Like late May? No, mid June probably.
That was last summer. I think that was in June or July. But we had that period with like 5 weeks of good weather in July last year.
Yeah, it was super hot. I mean, the photo says October 18th, but that ain't.
Oh no,
that ain't
that would have been when he sent it to me, or I saved it in the Dropbox or something.
Right.
Oh, that one with next to the old glacier river is really cool.
Yeah, that
was the glacier pool.
That was a drone on Colony.
Man, that's so cool.
So that's Colony Pass up there. So the other side of that is
right here.
Is
like rolling down into Portage.
Yeah, I think it's actually Harriman Fjord.
Yeah. That
into the Sound.
Yeah, into the Sound.
Okay, gotcha. So cool.
Yeah,
so, Forrest, what got you into this, dude?
Into helicopters
let's back up. We talked about so much on this, but let's go back to, you said Reno, you said Dakota. Like when you were a kid, like what started all this?
So I grew up. My dad's a landscape contractor.
Okay.
So I grew up on I shouldn't say heavy equipment, little mini excavators and bobcats.
Dirt work?
Yeah, he did a little bit of dirt work. He's a landscape contractor, so like he built ponds and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, retaining walls and
retaining walls and paver patios and planting plants and all that. Well, I got a hickory allergy.
Oh shit.
It's total bullshit. I'm allergic to a shovel.
Okay.
Yeah, hickory is.
Yeah, I don't do any finish work. I just run the excavator.
Well,
so.
I hated using a shovel, so I started running the Bobcat, skid steer and the mini excavator. But I got good enough on it that I didn't really have to use the shovel. And my dad used to say, "You're just fucking lazy, and you just use the damn shovel; it'll be quicker." Then I got good enough at it.
But you would get all finesse with the equipment.
Exactly.
And shit. Yeah.
So then I got good enough at it. He's like, "Oh, I guess I can't argue with it. You got some skills there." I remember I was I think 15 or 16. I'm on one of his job sites, and he's laying out gravel. We're doing a driveway, and I was in a skid steer. And a skid steer, you don't have any side to side movement. It's not like a road grader or nothing. Mm-hmm. And my dad had me grading the driveway, and the dump trucks are dumping it. And anyway, the general or whoever was on the project came in and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know about this. Let's shoot the grade." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "What is it?" I'm like, 1/4 inch a foot. I'm 16.
You could just feel it.
I'm like, I knew it was good. And he's like, "Well, let's put a string line on it." My dad's standing there. He's just shaking his head. And he's like, "This general doesn't know it's about to hit him." The dude put it on there. It was perfect.
Oh shit. Nice. You just knew.
It may have been luck or it may have been that good. I don't know.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I was all right on a piece of equipment. But I got through that, and of course, you don't ever want to. Most people are like, "I don't want to work for Dad forever," so I wanted to run bigger equipment that he didn't have, so I got into construction. Well, I took a detour and went to Utah to be a ski bum for a couple of years. Nice. Got into snowcats. I still run snowcats.
Okay.
Made snow, did the whole ski bum thing on the operations side, and then I went back to California after being in Utah for a couple of years. And started running bigger equipment, paving contractors. That's when I got my CDL.
Okay.
Because the first job I got for a paving contractor, I'm like, "I want to be an equipment operator." And they're like, "Yeah, you're 21. You got to earn your keep." Well, I ran a shovel for a day on the back of a paver and said, "Fuck that. I'm getting my CDL because they have AC."
Yeah. Yeah. Why would I want to be out here?
Screw walking on a mat. Have you ever paved?
Fucking no thanks, dude.
It's miserable.
I bet.
It looks awful.
And then you're down in California. It's 110.
Hot, dude.
Yeah. And then
your shoes melt.
Oh, yeah. And your feet are just, it's miserable. So I'm going to get a CDL. So that's what I started doing. And then running equipment. And I went back and forth to the ski industry. I had my own kind of first business going on and got in trouble with the contractors board for not having a license and some other shit. So anyway.
Your younger days.
Yeah. I've always been maybe a bit of a rebel. Hoodie.
Really?
Yeah, maybe a little. Right?
Yeah.
So
I haven't sensed that at all.
Limit.
Long story short, I was working at Sugar Bowl Ski Resort, and I found out about this thing called a spider excavator. I think I sent you a picture of one. It's really hard to explain without a picture. That's why I sent it to you. It's got wheels and legs.
A spider excavator?
It's going to be in the older stuff. Whoa. There it is. Go back up. That's a snowcat. Up. There you go.
Oh no.
We're going on a ride.
I know which one it is. The first.
The first couple, yeah.
This one right here?
Yep, that's a good picture of a spider. Those are both spiders.
Oh, I get it. Because it has the arms, legs,
Yeah,
wheels.
so it's got
everything.
legs and then tires.
Oh, no shit. I've never seen anything like that.
No.
So they had one up here. My buddy had one up here last year. They did some work, that new sky bridge at Alyeska.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did the footings for that.
Okay.
And then,
Because it can get on that steep slope.
yeah, so you could put that cab level on a 1-to-1 slope
Oh, man.
and work it. And then you got a winch that'll hold you on the hill if you got something to pick to.
Okay.
So I found out about what these things were. This guy, my buddy Russ, had one in Truckee. So I cold called this dude. I'm like, I want a job.
Yeah.
And so, I did what most people do. Want a job. You convince them to go to breakfast. You buy someone breakfast and you're like, I want a job. And he's like, I'm not hiring. Are you sure?
But you need to hire me.
I'm like, but you should hire me. He's like, I don't need help. I'm like, well, okay, watch this. So I found a way to go buy one. And we attached that to my dad's business with a under his contractor's license because I still didn't have one. So I found a way to get those, and I ran them for a summer. And I wound up being a subcontractor for this dude for the summer.
Okay.
I got some of my own work, but then he basically was like, well, instead of having you as competition, I'm just going to put you to work.
Nice.
Yeah.
It worked out
You
great.
hired me anyway.
Yep. Business and family is really tough. So my dad and I got into it pretty good. We wound up dissolving that portion and selling them. And then I went to work for this guy the next year. Jokes on him. He did finally hire me.
Yeah.
So,
one way or the other, I will be working for
Oh,
him.
exactly. Oh, he's awesome dude. Awesome dude to work for.
And he's not dad.
And he wasn't my dad, exactly. I don't know if you ever worked for family or worked with family.
Why is that, dude?
I don't know.
I mean, I would never work for my dad. Not in a fucking 2 seconds, dude.
Yeah.
Ever.
Oh,
We're so alike.
I grew up doing it. Oh, my dad and I, he's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
We'd fucking kill each other.
Oh, sure. Like
to this day.
almost full blown like fisticuffs, right?
I think we did go fisticuffs once. Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it was gnarly. Yeah. No, it was bad.
Are you guys kind of the same size? Or is he a little bigger or a little smaller?
He's bigger than me around, and I'm about an inch taller than him.
Okay. All right. So you can kind of dance around.
But I think most of it's in my hair, so I think we're about the same size.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got dad strength.
He's got dad strength. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I'm more scared of my mom, but yeah.
Yeah, naturally.
Exactly. But yeah, so I ran those, and I was working for that. I think it was 20. Don't mess up the dates. I think it was the fall of 2016. Just a picture in there I sent you. But I was building a ski lift at Grand Targhee.
Oh, okay. I just had him up.
Yeah, it's right there.
This one?
Yep. So.
Is that Utah?
No, Grand Targhee is actually in Wyoming. It's just over the border from Driggs, Idaho. It's kind of on the backside.
It looks real
of the
elky
Tetons.
and real muley.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I saw it. I'm like, man, that looks like the Midwest somewhere.
Lots
I
of
work too
good
much
skiing
to hunt,
here.
but
Fuck, dude. Or not Midwest, West, I should say.
So this picture, you're actually looking into Idaho, but I'm sitting in Wyoming.
Oh, it's on the border.
It's right on the border.
You're like right on a ski hill here somewhere.
Yeah, I was digging ski lift footings.
Okay.
Is what I was
Oh,
doing.
okay.
We were building a new ski lift.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this Blackhawk shows up to pour concrete. That happens to. I was just there, but that happens to be the first Blackhawk that was really used in utility when they first started selling the surplus from
The military.
military. If you got any,
And it's carrying the concrete in
yeah.
it.
So he's actually got a long line on, so you could see his line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
And I should have sent you a picture or video of the bucket. So he comes in he's hauling, I think, 1 yard at a time.
That's a Blackhawk?
Yeah, that's a Blackhawk. A civilian. Well, it's a military Hawk that they've
retrofitted
rebuilt.
to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they gutted a bunch of stuff out of it. Anyway, I got to talking to that pilot who, at that moment in time, I had no idea who he was. He owns this company that's now global and massive. And
Yeah.
I didn't know you could be a pilot if you weren't in the military. So I kind of got to talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a civilian guy. I just learned to fly. This is what I do for a living." I'm like, "What?"
I need to get out of this spider.
I'm like, "Well, I already had the cool job in the spider, I thought, but then that night I had to buy my own beer at the bar, and that was bullshit."
Oh, well, this dude was just like...
And he was just like hanging out, right? Yeah. So,
He's the dude in the helicopter. Buy him around.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it doesn't do you any good in Alaska because, you know, you walk into a bar and 17 of you are pilots.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so I went back to California and I'm running a snowcat on graveyard shift at grooming.
Where at?
Sugar Bowl.
All right.
Yeah, on Donner Summit.
Cool.
So that was a good time.
Yeah.
Nasty resort.
Really?
Oh, it's super
They got
cool
good
resort.
terrain?
They got good terrain. It's steep, and then they're right on the summit, so you wind up in some. I've been in hurricane force winds on the top of that mountain, just looking at the winch pick, and the hook's still hooked up, and you're like, I don't want to get out to deal with this because the door's gonna blow off.
Yeah.
You got 100-mile-an-hour gusts, and you're trying to time it so you can get your hook off.
What's
Yeah.
the elevation at that?
I want to say the top of Lincoln's 8.1 or 8.2.
It just wind just rips through there.
Screaming. Oh yeah,
Oh, shit.
Just insane. You know, you can't hardly see your boom, let alone I follow cable. You know, IFR. I follow rope. Sorry, I follow cable.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I follow rope.
I follow roads.
Yeah, roads, rivers, railroad tracks. So anyway, I got bored one day, as you do. So I went to the local airport, found a helicopter. They're just an R-22 sitting on the ramp, started talking to the guy, found out he had a flight school, and he's like, yeah, you got $200? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I do this thing called a discovery flight, you know, I'll give you this little SFAR endorsement, which is something you got to do to fly a Robinson helicopter, and we'll do a little ground. You got your passport with you, and make sure you're legal, and we'll go fly around for 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. Well, the second we took off, I was hooked.
Oh, no shit.
You're like, I'm doing this.
Oh yeah, it was in Auburn, California. We went and flew the American River Canyon. Right, how you've seen the movie Triple X where they jumped the Corvette off a bridge. We flew by that bridge. Shit. Yeah, that's the Forest Hill Bridge.
Yeah.
So you know, we went and flew that canyon, and I'm like, dude, I gotta do this.
So sick.
So I get back and I'm all jazzed. Mind you, grooming pays like $25 an hour, and I'm commuting an hour and a half each way to do it. So I'm making like no money. And I'm like, I'm going to be a helicopter pilot. So I sign up for his school, I buy all my books, and I fly like 2 hours, and I completely run out of money. It's
Shit.
I spent every time I'm thinking I'm going to work nights at the ski resort and fly one day a week and get somewhere. It didn't work.
Oh no.
So I'm like, okay, I got to reevaluate. I looked at some schools where you can use, you know, financial aid or student loans, you know, college program, and at that point, I'd kind of been a punk kid and fucked up my credit, so I couldn't do it that way. So I got a job. I had a garage sale at my buddy's house, of all places.
Like, what did you have to sell?
I didn't really have anything.
Old records.
Like, what does the guy even have?
CDs from Columbia House.
No, I didn't have shit. I was drinking at my buddy's house while his girlfriend had a garage sale with my ex. That's all other story. But yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, AIDS. Aviation induced divorce syndrome.
That's funny.
Not good on relationships. I take it.
It could be tough, but anyway, I wound up getting someone came to the garage sale. I wound up with this job driving a self-loading log truck. It paid decent, and that guy's deal was I could work as much overtime as I wanted, and he'd pay me cash for any hours after 40 hours a week.
Perfect.
So what did I start doing? I started working 90 hours a week.
Just around the clock.
Basically, because logging, you get an exemption from your hours of service because it's considered agriculture. And he didn't care because I was making him a boatload.
Just running.
Oh, just
running.
Man,
Just
7 days a week, ran myself into the ground, and I'm like, all
This
right.
is in Cali. They're still logging.
Oh, yeah.
In Cali.
Very well, when there's not a spotted owl in the way. Or a yellow-legged frog, or, you know, some hippie in a tour bus.
Sure.
So, and I'm thinking I'm going to work this job in the summer, and then I'm going to go to flight school in the winter. Well, I got sidetracked and wound up having an opportunity to buy my own logging truck. So through this guy that, you know, I was working for, essentially he saw my work ethic, and he's like, you can do better with yourself. So
do your own thing.
yeah, so I actually
Pocket all the money.
and I actually went to him, you know, shout out to Ray. I'll send this to him, you can listen to it.
Yeah.
I actually gave him my 2 weeks notice because I was going to quit and go somewhere else so I could work in the winter. And he told me I was a fucking idiot.
Oh,
And
straight up?
Yeah, he's like, you're an idiot. I have a better plan for you. I got to talk to my wife. This is like a Friday afternoon when I'm picking up,
He's like, no, you're not quitting. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
Let's talk.
exactly. Oh, he's
I
like,
need permission.
He's like, you don't want to work for them. He's like, what are you going to go drive long haul? Like, no, that's dumb. He's like, you're such a dumbass. You know, he's
You have
Get
no
your shit
idea
together,
what you're
bro.
doing here.
exactly. He's like, you're not.
You
cut
had
out-
this concocted plan. I'm going to do
I
all
had,
this.
Oh yeah, I had this plan. I was going to go haul tractors across the country, and make all this money. And he's like, no, you're an idiot. He's like, I got a better plan for you. I'm like, okay. This is like a Friday afternoon. It was every week on Friday afternoon. We'd basically bombard this guy's house for payday.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, someone would show up with a case of beer, and we'd bombard his house, and his wife would hand out our paychecks and then our overtime. And it became a joke because she'd give everyone their little overtime envelopes that were, thin. But then I worked 50 hours overtime a
Oh,
week.
so your shit was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all just doesn't even fucking overlap and
Exactly.
stick.
It doesn't fit anymore. And she's like, I'm going to have to get bigger bills than 20s. I'm like, yeah, you are.
This ain't an ATM.
No, exactly. Like, we got shit to pay for. So he came back to me a couple days later, and he's like, so I'm going to owner finance a truck and lease it to you. So I'm like, what? Because at this point, my credit was still a little wonky. And
Sure.
commercial credit, as you probably know, is different than
Yep.
personal. And trying to buy a commercial vehicle, logging trucks at 160, 170 grand or so.
Okay.
So he's like, if you could
It's like
figure
a
out,
mortgage.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you only put it on a 5-year note.
Oh, fuck. Big
Yeah,
payments.
It's big payments.
Oh, so you better be bringing in some fucking revenue.
Uh-huh.
Because expenses are high.
And this was August. So we're getting into the tail end of the year. And his deal was like, you got to do this in this fiscal year. Because it was also helping him out, with some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then he was leasing it back to me. And I didn't realize at the time how well he was setting me up doing a lease purchase. And I didn't understand the tax rules. And he just set me up for success. So I wound up doing that. And I got my own truck. And I started my business that way. And helicopters kind of fell off my radar for a while because I was so focused on running this truck.
Yeah. Because of the coin.
Oh, yeah. I was doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I had big bills, but I had big checks.
Yeah.
So,
And you didn't have a life. And you were just
I didn't have
making
a lot.
money and
I just
paying
worked.
bills.
Yeah, I worked and I bought toys, and then the toys sat.
Yeah.
I was the guy. I had I got rid of a Toyota, which was a very sad day.
Yeah.
But, I had a new Dodge pickup. I had Razor, snow machine. You name it.
Yeah.
Boat.
Fine, everybody drinks at the bar, but you're only there maybe once a month.
Well, I never went to the bar because everyone just
That's
came
what I'm
to my
saying.
house and drank my beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I had a big garage and a shop and whatnot, right? But California got to a point where you couldn't hardly afford to be in business. So what was it? Fall of 18, I guess it was. I left. We went to Idaho.
Sold the truck, or you bring it?
Took my truck with me.
Okay.
Went out to Idaho. Found a cool little town.
What town?
Grangeville.
Oh, where's it
Kind
at?
of the bottom of the Panhandle.
All right.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
know where Lewiston is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an hour and a half from Lewiston.
All right. Cool.
Cool little town. There was nothing there at that point but a sawmill. It's
Perfect for a logger.
Oh yeah, it's since blew up, but I was able to get a cool little house, on 5 acres with a little shop on it, garage, and $800 a month. I'm like,
Put all your toys
Score.
in there you couldn't ride or
Oh,
play
yeah.
with and just store them in there nice.
I bought that Razor brand new from my uncle's shop with 3 miles on it. I sold it 2.5 years later with 267 miles.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, someone could have.
So you unloaded it on and off the trailer a few times?
I put a plow on it to plow my driveway so I could call it a
yeah.
tax write-off.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I had so much fun. I had a 72-inch plow. I'm just running up and down my road at Mock Jesus. Oh yeah, it was great. Anyway,
Hell of a plow truck.
yeah, it was a little cold. Didn't have a cab, but it worked.
Okay.
Anyway, so I hauled logs that summer, and I wound up on a helicopter logging job. And all the helicopter excitement came back.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, at that point, I'd been kind of dabbling and getting a fixed wing certificate because I was making it big enough so, I could buy an airplane. tootle around the Idaho backcountry, experimental old cub or something. So I'd been looking into that, and then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. So I did some trucker math, which is very similar to boat math and pilot math.
All right.
And I realized if I sold everything I had, I could live in my old trailer and go to flight school.
Nice.
They call it square one, like back to or ground zero.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
So I came home one day and I threw my truck. I'm like, I'm going to throw this thing on Craigslist and see what happens. I had a fair bit of equity at that point. I'd built nice logging gear for it. And within 2 weeks, a friend of mine from California had showed up, wrote me a check, and left. And I no longer had a business.
Oh, shit.
Because it drove away. And then I just started selling basically everything.
Yeah.
The old trailer didn't really work out. I wound up buying a new one, but and I went to flight school in fall of 19. I started September of 2019.
Where did you go?
I was down in Mountain Home, Idaho.
Okay.
Which is down south, just out of Boise.
Okay.
And then I finished flight school in March of 2020, which is a super cool time for a new career, midst COVID.
Yeah.
And I couldn't afford to get an instrument rating, and I couldn't afford to be a CFI. And a CFI is a certified flight instructor.
Right.
So that's one of the first jobs most people have. So what I leaned on I had a CDL with a hazmat endorsement. So I found an ag operator in North Dakota. Excuse me. That needed he needed a truck driver, loader, and he was willing to, if I ran his truck, he's like, you could ferry the helicopter and build a little time, but I can't have you spray it 150 hours. I'm like, all right. So I went out there as COVID hit. We didn't do shit for like 6 weeks. But he also had these pipeline contracts, and he's like, if I can get you on these pipeline contracts, you could fly them, but we need to get your hours up so I can insure you to carry people.
Yeah.
Well, COVID happened. The oil fields changed their rules because they didn't want people in the helicopters. He sent me to school for an operator qualification so I could do the surveys myself.
Man, that's awesome.
And all of a sudden he was able to insure me with less hours to just go out in an R44 and do these surveys.
Right.
So
how many hours do you get doing that?
I was there about 14 months, and I ran the truck a lot that summer, but then that following winter I flew. I think I left there with about 750 hours.
Sweet.
My buddy's out there now. It was super cool. I built a good relationship with the guy, and now it's like I fed multiple pilots through him.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
So my buddy Justin's out there.
Sweet.
So you got to have him on. He's a cool Alaskan dude. Oh, yeah, he's Antarctica and Alaska and
no shit.
helicopter pilot too, and
Sweet.
yeah, he lives out in Eagle River.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out Justin.
Nice.
But so I left there in the spring of 21 and went out to Washington State, and I got a job again, I was going to be loading, but I had a lot more experience flying, or a little more experience flying, I should say. And the whole goal was get into spraying with bigger helicopters. So they had Bell Jet Rangers and Long Rangers.
Oh.
So I showed up and I went and got my my aerial applicators licenses first. And then he had some turnover, and I was just kind of the guy available with the certificates. And he's like, well, if you could do the job, you could do the job.
Nice. It works out again.
Perfect timing.
So
dude.
he gave me a little bit of training. And
This is now 21?
21.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just a summer. Turned out Washington wasn't a place I wanted to live. Got some good experience. Managed to not die spraying, which is a good thing because you're flying, 5-10 feet off the ground at 60 mile an hour.
Okay.
Oh, it's pretty sketchy.
Oh, I mean, you get trained for it, but as far as things in aviation, it's
a lot of room for error.
You're flying under wires. You're turning 15 feet next to wires.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Sometimes it's safer to go under than over.
That seems really, really risky.
Yeah, I feel like you'd just rather be over everything.
Yeah.
If you get up too high, then you drift on the organics and picks the hippies off.
Oh, I see.
So risk you. We'll risk you instead.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you drift, that's on the pilot, not the company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ag's a funky industry. Wow. They put a lot of liability on the pilot.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And so what were you spraying?
We did some crops, but a lot of orchard work, apples and cherries. And I learned a lot about where our food comes from.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to have my own garden and
Self-sustainable.
You don't want to eat those ones?
Dude, some of the stuff we were spraying on this stuff, when you get a herbicide or a pesticide, whatever it is, and it's got like an upside down dead floating fish and a poisonous label, and like you read the label and you have to wear a respirator while flying and a full bunny suit while you're loading it.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
And then you eat it. Yeah. And then we spray this stuff called malathion, which will eat Pro Seal, which is like, I don't know if you've ever used that around aircraft, but it's basically impenetrable on a helicopter. It just eats it.
Oh, that's fucked.
It's like JB Weld on steroids, and it just eats it. It's disgusting.
No bueno, man. No bueno.
And they're spraying that on food.
Spraying that on food.
You wonder why Americans are all fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We need to go organic, bro.
Organic is a scam, though, because some of the stuff we sprayed on that was disgusting.
Oh, what were you spraying on those?
It's just naturally occurring bullshit.
Oh.
Some of that stuff will discolor aluminum.
Yeah,
You need a garden.
You know, we need to buy from local greens. That's what we
that's a big mess in general, dude.
Anyway.
So, fast forward. So, 21, you're doing ag.
Yeah, I'm doing ag. And then Alaska was always the goal since I started flying.
Why?
It's Alaska, man.
Like, what spurred it? Like, what did you see? What video did you see? What movie did you watch? Like, what?
It was actually a couple of people I followed on Instagram that were pilots up here.
Okay.
You know?
Do you remember who they were?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could.
Who are they?
Lee Coates is one of them. Her husband, former owners of ES. Yeah, they're super cool. She's big on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's one of them. And then just some of the companies up here, Alpine. I had some buddies who worked for Pollux over there, you know. And I was just enamored by it.
Yeah.
I had never been to Alaska when I moved here. I just...
Like, no random trip or anything?
I had never been here. So, I was flying ag in Washington. And then mountain biking is kind of my one big sport.
Okay.
And I wadded the shit out of myself.
And,
oh, yeah.
Head over?
Like surgeries type shit?
No, I got really lucky. I should have probably been like super fucked up, but I completely ran out of talent. I was on a demo bike. I was actually looking at buying this thing. I just wrecked the shit out of it and wadded myself up. So I had a couple of weeks off from work because I was on like light duty. But that gave me time to fix up my resume and kind of get ready to start putting out feelers in the fall. And this one guy, who's the former DO of Alpine, he just retired. He called me up and he was like, so I see her in Washington. Yeah. He's like, well, I'm going to be in Seattle, visiting my dad next week. Do you want to meet up for breakfast? I'm like, yeah, sure. That's not far from me.
Breakfast, man. Anchor it, dude.
It was like 2 hours. Where were you
It was
at?
like 5 hours from me. I'm living in Wenatchee.
Oh, fuck.
Which is east, right?
Oh,
it's way east.
Yeah, dude. It's super far.
It's like 5 hours away.
Let me just meet you there for breakfast. I'll be there
He calls me
in the
on like
morning.
a Friday afternoon. He's like, yeah, you want to do breakfast tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, that's not too far at all. Yeah. I couldn't afford a hotel. I couldn't do nothing. I'm just like, I've got this ratty old...
You just jumped in your truck.
Yeah, ratty old Toyota Tundra. And I get up, I think I got up at like 3 o'clock in the morning to drive to Seattle to meet this dude for breakfast, to have a chat with him about Alaska. And he told me in the interview, I don't know who you're going to fly for, but you'll fly for someone. It may or may not be us. He wound up hiring me in December, but he's like, the best advice I could get you is get up there.
Just get there.
Just get there. Go walk in people's hangars. I live here. I want a job. Okay. What can you do in Alaska in the winter? Ski resort. Come back to the ski resort, right? Come up with Alyeska.
Yeah.
Okay.
I send Alyeska a resume. my aviation resume with this super bullshit, like bullet pointed, half-assed cover letter about what I've done in aviation or in the ski industry.
Yeah.
With a note on the bottom that said, I swear I've actually done this. Sorry you got my aviation resume. It's all I got. My buddy, my now buddy Mike calls me, and I didn't realize I was on speakerphone with the former manager of Alyeska and him. Because they had a bet going if I was going to take the job or not. Because they're like looking at each other like, we're going to call this dude who's a pilot and we're going to offer him $20 an hour to come run a snowcat.
Yeah.
So he calls me. I talk to him in like 15 minutes in the conversation. He's like, yeah, you want a job? This is what I'll pay. I'm like, okay. Let me think about it. I'll call you back. I called him like 3 hours later. Still got that job? You serious? I'm like, yeah, I'll come up there. Fuck it. Mind you, it's the end of October.
Fucking $20 an hour.
$20 an hour.
Yeah.
So I took all.
Mind you, a 1-bedroom apartment's like $900 a month.
That's a whole other story.
Right.
Because I was trying to go to Girdwood. And that didn't
Oh,
fucking
that's
work.
a whole other. Jesus.
You couldn't get into like the resort housing?
No. Well, I was working nights.
Oh.
And I was a snobby pilot, and I didn't want to, have a roommate or live in shared housing or nothing
Right,
like that.
right.
Oh, okay.
So I came up here.
Snobby pilot and an entitled Toyota owner.
Yeah.
That's
right.
It happens.
Yeah. And he has 8.
I say that acronym, but I was never actually married.
All right. He knows people with 8s.
I know many people.
Aviation induced divorce syndrome. Is that what it was?
Okay.
That's
Not there
what
yet.
That was. No. You're going to get me in so much trouble.
I love that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That is a
when
really
my
good
lady
one.
listens to this, she should know that I got a job with a schedule, and that's not going to happen. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so I wind up here. Mind you, it's the end of October when I decide to move. I wind up driving the Alcan with a U-Haul trailer in mid-November. I'm thinking it's going to be this beautiful fucking drive. Yeah, I drove in a blizzard for 6 days.
Yeah.
With
Awful.
a trailer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing fun
And you're
about
like,
it.
fuck, I shouldn't have brought the trailer.
I regret bringing that shit because now I'm getting ready to go south. I got to start
Yeah,
a
well,
camper
that
shell.
shit.
No, I don't have any shit left.
Oh, okay. Because you mentioned something about I have to go to my storage in Wasilla or something, and I'm like, oh, you have stuff?
I've got a few things. Yeah, I got to get my.
I thought maybe you had shit down south still.
No,
Okay.
I don't have anything left down south, and I got rid of everything up here. But since I'm flying down south anyway, I'm bringing 2 Pelican cases full of stuff that can't go through Canada.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes it
Got
easier.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wound up driving up here. I had housing lined up with a home rental company that exists in Anchorage that we probably won't slander. That was a horrible mistake because they also owned the apartment I was in Wenatchee. So they let me out of that lease because I signed one up here.
Oh.
And I just went with that lady's recommendation. Oh, this looks nice. Yeah, I was on 13th in downtown. I walked in that place. I'm like, I ain't fucking living here. You could keep that $500 deposit. I'm done.
Oh, shit. How are you going to live here?
So I wound up going, and I was in a hotel for a week trying to find somewhere to live. I wound up over off Muldoon. Mm-hmm. So I'm commuting from Muldoon to Girdwood, trying to survive on $20 an hour.
Oh, man.
Dude.
But it's the Alaska. I had to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm doing what I had to do.
The homie
to survive.
said, just get up here.
Just get up here.
Walk in those hangars and make it
Were
happen,
you walking in the hangars?
Yeah, I had 5 job offers by December.
Oh,
but
nice.
none of them started until April.
Oh, right.
Right? Naturally.
So I'm trying to survive grooming at Alyeska. Awesome crew, ton of fun. Pulling
I bet it was awesome.
winch cable, having fun, making $0.
Yeah.
And my buddy down there, he's like, I got someone you should call. Do you want to go run a snowcat on the North Slope? Oh, what the fuck's the North Slope?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That sounds fun. So I call this dude, and he's like, yeah, you want to make some money? I'm like, yeah. So I
Cancel your lease. You'll be here until April.
Yeah, not quite. He's like, we're trying to do, 2 and 2 rotations. I'm like, okay. He's like, but if you want to make some money, I could bring you up for 6 weeks. I'm like, what kind of money are we talking? And he told me.
And you're like, okay.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we can make that work.
So 3 days later, I've stuffed my ratty old Toyota in my garage that I had in Mondood, hoping it doesn't get broken into and stolen.
Yeah.
And I'm on a flight to Barrow, having no fucking clue what Barrow is. Or not Barrow, sorry, Dead Horse.
Oh, yeah.
To go run a snowcat. I get there, and it was like trial by fire.
Mm-hmm.
And we're building the CWAT, which is a community winter access trail, to Barrow, Wainwright, Atkasak, Point Lay. And you're in a piston bully that does about 6 miles an hour, and you're doing 300 mile legs. You're hauling your own fuel, you're hauling cargo, you're packing and building this trail.
Crawling.
Oh yeah, crawling. And you go out on trail for like 10 days. And you could only imagine.
You're the only one in it.
You're the only one in the cat. You run in 2 cats, and you got these little cabins on the back that you're sleeping in. It's
So someone else can drive or no?
nope.
Oh, you
You're,
stop.
No, you
You
just
camp
both
out.
you work
stop.
18-hour days and you sleep for 6,
Okay.
and you just work.
So you run, leave it running, go sleep.
Yeah, you don't shut the thing off for
No,
weeks at a
yeah,
time.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And you're eating Mountain House or what?
Yeah, mountain house, crapping in 5-gallon buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of wag bags,
Yeah.
a lot of baby wipes.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'll let you use your imagination.
Yeah,
of
oh,
how
I
that
know.
Yeah,
cat
no,
smells.
we
that's
know.
all you
Yeah.
got. That's all you got to say.
Yeah. You got
Out of
this-
Dead Horse,
So we're Dead Horse to Barrow.
how far is that?
I'd have to look a couple 100 miles, and then it's
I
not a straight
wondered that.
line.
Yeah, it's like a.
And then you'll get out there, and a blow will come through, and your trail's gone, and
Yep.
you're following a GPS, and it's wild.
Yeah.
Seeing polar bears run by, that's cool.
No shit.
Oh yeah, when you get up close to Barrow, you'll see them.
Okay.
You know. So wound up doing that, but got some cool experience out of it.
Yeah.
Laid the fiber optic cable from Barrow to Atkasak. That was a big
Okay.
deal.
Damn.
Yeah, I could say I actually did that project. And then they convinced me to go back this year. I did a shorter hitch this year. But
Oh, really?
yeah, it was still super cool to do. And then when I was up there flying in December,
The money was hard to pass up. What is that? What it was?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on Davis Bacon for 18-hour days, 7 days a week.
18 hours has got to be an eternity to work.
Listen to podcasts, man.
Alaska Wild Project.
Well, you know, there
Dude.
No,
you go. They heard
that's how I found you guys.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, someone I needed, so I made an Instagram post before I went up there the first time. I'm like, hey, I need podcast recommendations because I didn't listen to too many. And one of them that came through in the little recommendation bubble from who knows who was, yeah, check out this one.
Oh, that's cool.
There's you guys.
Perfect.
Yeah, here we
Oh,
are.
shit.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like, how does one stay sane when doing such a redundant?
You don't. You start losing it. You start, wearing sunglasses upside down and being weird and trying to make Instagram videos and drooling on yourself and listening. You got to listen to the same episode twice because you didn't.
You missed
you
something
weren't
in
paying
there or
attention.
whatever.
Or you
Yeah.
weren't paying attention, or
Yeah.
Okay.
you're like, how did
Mine
I
drifted off?
How
or
did I get
something?
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks the same as it did, 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Are
Totally.
you done with that? Is there no return back to that?
I was gonna go back until this job offer I got, and
Okay.
that is kind of life changing financially. So I'm taking my time off. I'm gonna, go to the Bahamas with the girlfriend and
Yeah. Yep.
hang out on a beach
Yeah.
or go do whatever I want and probably not go freeze on the North Slope. I did it for 2 years, so I could say it wasn't a one and done. It was an experience.
Sure.
I saw some Northern Lights that
Oh, yeah.
Blow
Blow
your
your
mind.
mind
Oh,
for
I
sure,
bet.
man.
Yeah,
For
bet.
sure.
I think I sent you pictures of those.
Yeah, and
should've got 'em.
you said you saw polar bears run by. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
That's cool.
no one ever sees any of that.
And then I got to go back up there and fly.
I did
this
see those
summer.
Northern
Oh, you
Lights.
did.
What
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, my
So-
God,
That's
dude.
awesome. Yeah.
So this is that thing?
Yeah. So that's a piston bully
Holy
600.
shit, dude.
We got cell booster and
So you talk about that camper things on the
yeah.
back?
The other picture kind of has a better.
You have a
besides the
video
caption.
right there.
So it's all part of the same unit. You don't get out for the camper, or
Oh
you
no,
do?
you have to run on the tracks.
Okay.
You just jump
And
out
it's
of one and
heated
into the
through
other.
the cab, though.
Yeah. Well, we got Webastos in there,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so
Damn, dude. And then you just crawl over frozen tundra. for
Yep.
Yeah.
miles
And you're
on
pulling
end.
something heavy.
It can be sometimes,
This one's dragging something right here.
Yeah, that's the one I was in. That's a fuel tank.
When the big blow's going on, do you guys hold still or you keep going?
A lot of times you have to keep moving because if you stop, you'll actually ice up.
Okay.
You'll get stuck.
Yeah. No,
You
that
got to
makes
try and
sense.
follow your GPS, and you might only be crawling along at 1 or 2 miles an hour.
Right.
But breaking the snow.
But
and
it can go back over the big berms and all that, the big snow
Yeah,
berms.
sometimes you'll have to unhook your skid and kind of plow out your road and build your road.
And then come back.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
When you say skid, that's the trailer?
Yeah, or they call them drags up there
Okay.
a lot of times. Skid or a drag.
Yeah.
So you have to disconnect it, physically get out of the machine?
Oh, yeah.
Are you
And
tied
then,
off?
do
or
you have to
anything?
hammer fucking ice and snow off to disconnect?
Sometimes. Usually it's so cold that a lot of times it just kind of falls off.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
dude. And it's just dark the whole fucking time.
So I went up this year, I guess. I think I went up to January 30th. So we were getting 2 hours of daylight. So it's mostly dark. But then it comes back so quick. I mean, they gain 12, 13 minutes a day
Yeah.
Once it swings.
once it swings. So
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, you're like, will the sun go down? I can't see shit.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of
right.
times you could see better in the dark with the lights.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So Brandon, in these big blows, I'm talking you can't see this can
Oh,
in front of you. So
I
that's where
believe
I
it.
was like, you're going off to untie this thing and then push, are you tying yourself off? So if you walk 3 feet away, you can't find your shit.
No, you're trying not to get out when it's that bad. Or you don't let go of the machine.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you just hold on to the track
Yeah.
and
yeah. And,
okay.
and then you won't undo the skid in that kind of
You
blow.
try not to unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah,
Or you'll
yeah.
make sure the guy's next to you. You'll park next to him so he kind of blocks the wind.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the funny thing is you're up there and everyone's like, so you're in Arctic gear the whole time, right? Like, yeah, except you don't want to get necessarily taken on and off every single time you get out
That's
of the tent.
right.
So you wind up running around in, slippers and pajama pants for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then you got to fuel, so you stop. You put
Yeah.
all your Arctic gear on, you pump fuel. They got auxiliary tanks on them, so I think that one I was running had the main tank was 90 gallons, and then we carried another 450 gallons that was plumbed in. Mm-hmm. So you could go days
right, just run.
without having to fuel, and then it was like a big ordeal. Every 3 days, we're like, oh, we're going to fuel. So you park next to the other guy who's got the tank, and usually you're
Okay.
carrying another 1,000 gallons of fuel with you or something.
Okay. On the skid.
Yeah, on the skid.
Yeah. Okay.
And when we say snowcats, are snowcats? Is a snowcat a snowcat a snowcat? Is there different models for ones that do mountains? I know out in Willow there's a snowcat.
That plows the snow machine trails. And
Yeah,
ski trails and
there's
stuff.
the lodge out there off the river, and it's snowcats for hire. He's got this sign out there. And are they all the same?
No, they're not the same. I mean, I
okay.
think he's got old BR350s. I know someone up here has a Beast, which is just a pre-auth. Again, it's the Ford Dodge argument. These
okay.
are piston bully 600s that we're using across the tundra, but they also got 400s up there and little 100s that they move people with. It kind of depends. These are the ones we're using up there. Were designed for a ski resort, but they've since reinforced them. They've taken a lot of the, you don't have a tiller, you're not using those implements. They've taken the lift frames off. They're a lot heavier than what we're running down at Alyeska when you're actually grooming.
Oh, right.
Because you're not worried about surface prep to the same level. Whereas Alyeska, you're trying to prep a surface for skiing. This, you're actually building a snow road that
Right.
they
People
open.
can drive on.
Yeah, they drive on them. They're nuts.
With vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when you run the skid and you have a blow, and then the blow blows the snow over, how do you re-clear the road behind you that you've already cleared?
You make another lap.
Oh.
You just go kind of back and forth.
Oh,
Try and
so
go
you're not
once a
just
week.
going one direction.
Oh yeah, no,
and
you go from Dead Horse to Barrow,
Uh-huh.
and then hopefully, if you're lucky, you have a night in town, at a hotel, get a shower, get a real meal,
and turn around and
supplies
then
and
grade it back,
come back,
and then do it again.
and then do it again.
Oh, so you're just constantly like cutting the road, cutting the road. Okay. So I remember back in my adjusting days, I was an insurance adjuster. I remember I had a claim on a rig in Barrow, and the guy was talking about running the vehicle back on the ice road.
Yeah, the CWAT. So it's not an ice road; it's a snow road.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I was trying to wrap my head around what it was, and he's like, oh, it's only accessible in the wintertime.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, that sounds like sketchy. Like, it must have markers, and how does just a general, like a person jumping in their Ford Explorer run that road?
So generally, what they try and get people to do is run on a convoy.
Okay.
And then, so
everybody schedules their trip together.
they try. There's random people that just run it,
And they can just do it at will? There's no one stopping them or anything like that?
Yeah,
They're hauling their like
Did you ever come
U-boat
across
up.
dumbasses that were doing that you had to bail out or get unstuck or anything like that?
You'd be surprised how prepared most of them can be. You think they're like, man, this one's an idiot. And no, they got max tracks and some, they can be pretty prepared.
Okay.
There's so that I was working for UIC, which is a native corp, and then they're sub to Eskimos Inc. is the name of the big company up in Barrow. Mm-hmm. So part of running CWAT, you build the road, and then you're also the recovery crew. So every once in a while, we'd be at mile 190 and we'd get a in reach. Hey, you got to go back to mile 170 and pull someone out or rescue someone, so it happens. But they try and convoy. They try and get people to join convoys.
Wow. Because you talk about those big blows, I'm thinking, if you're just in a truck and that blow, I could see you cruising along and being okay, but if the blow miles up has created, multiple...
It creates berms, and then you hit the berm, you can't get over the berm, and then you spend all night keeping the air intake clean.
Oh, for the vehicle.
Every 15 minutes, get out of your car. Because I've been in storms up there where in one night, my truck, which I was in, got covered above the truck in one night.
So when you say the air cleaner, you have to open the hood and...
No, you look at, where what direction the air intake is inside your engine. So
what port in the left fender or something,
right? And what direction is what's important. And so you try to park your truck against that,
gotcha.
And then you spend all night making sure that's clear and has a wall to breathe, and then that your exhaust can breathe. Clear. And so every 15 or 30 minutes you get out and do that.
You clear the intake, you clear the exhaust, so it's all flowing. But your truck is stuck in place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a loader get me out, but yeah.
Wow.
I had to stand on top of the loader the next day for them to see where my truck was.
So the smart move was to convoy in good weather windows.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure most people did.
I remember
they just risked it.
There was a lot of people who just sent it. Because if the road's good and you have a good weather window, you could do it in 6 hours, 8 hours.
It's still a long time.
Because they could do 50 mile an hour. I'm doing 6.
I remember a dude taking... It was like an ocean boat across it.
Oh, yeah. They towed trailers and they put gooseneck trailers.
I was like, what the fuck is...
a triple axle fucking...
I wouldn't say that big. I mean, because it's the bearing. It's not But yeah, double...
But he was transporting a boat.
It'd be like taking my boat.
On a trailer.
Yeah.
From Barrow to Dead Horse.
Yeah, like a double axle.
Then you have to trailer it to Fairbanks or...
No, they bring it out to their village because that's the time they can get to the village because they don't have a road in the summer. So this is their time.
This is going...
So Barrow has
village,
a road.
Not away from it.
Most people don't leave with their... That's why there's so much shit still there.
So this is the time that you can get from the road system to these villages, including Barrow.
Okay. These are all folks going to...
Yeah.
No one's coming from.
But they might have flown to Anchorage, bought the stuff in Anchorage or Fairbanks, and drove up back.
Okay.
Is that about what
Yeah.
you see? Okay.
There's some guys that haul freight back and forth. Like there's this one dude up there. He's got a big old, Ford diesel of some kind and max tracks, and he hauls I think like a 30-foot gooseneck on skis.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. The way they adapt to get across there is nuts.
But he's charging a massive premium to haul shit.
They're making good money.
But the risk, man.
No, yeah, for sure. But they live in that risk all the time up there, man.
They do.
It's just a different way of life.
Yeah, they know how to survive.
Man, Forrest, your story is pretty awesome, dude.
That is cool.
Yeah, we kind of
Super
did it.
unique.
We kind of did it backwards.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That trip
Yeah,
up
no,
here was wild.
it is cool. Yeah, I mean, you went from what maybe traditionally just would have been heavy equipment operators, and even today, if you quit flying a helicopter, you could go run a skidster or a piece of equipment and still do really well for yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm constantly getting offers to go run a spider. Those guys are on the road 300 days a year.
What are you going to be doing now?
So it's power line construction.
Oh, that's right.
We're talking
That's
about.
right.
But
Yeah.
the big thing,
What state?
they're all over. So they
okay.
got a hangar, I believe, in Mesa, and then they got something going in West Virginia. But they kind of work all over the Midwest, East Coast,
So on your 21 and 21, you're going to be just wherever the
they
demand
send
is.
me. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And they just fly you to where they need you.
They
Sweet.
don't care where you live. They don't care where you go home to.
So you're still going to continue to see badass shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You said West Virginia everyone
Country
in between.
roads, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to see America
Yeah.
all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing what the career path has translated into for you.
Yeah, I never really thought I'd see it going this way. I thought I'd come to Alaska and never leave. I'm still going to be back, We got
Sure.
this sweet schedule to come visit and go on vacation and enjoy the, good months,
Yeah.
good weather. You can
Yeah.
tell me when the sun's out.
You show your lady Alaska yet?
No, that's on the list of things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll be back.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, what's her interest in like career path or what she's trying to get into?
So she's in OTA school, which
Okay.
is occupational therapy assistant.
Right.
And then she's got a handful of other degrees.
Okay.
One of them being like kinesiology, which the movement of the body. I
Yep,
guess, body
that's right.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's way smarter than I am. So
Yeah, perfect.
Way to do
it's
it.
usually way better that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just deal with meat and potatoes and then they figure it all out.
exactly, yeah. I'm just gonna go pick things up and put it down.
Yeah. I'm going to fly this piece of equipment.
Yeah, I got to a point I kind of quit telling people what I do.
Really?
Yeah, it tends to.
Because there's so many questions and
It disrupts the conversation. Like I try and get to know someone.
and then just
You
the
know,
full focus is
and
like,
it's just fucking helicopter. I'm like, dude, it's just a fucking job.
yeah.
I try and be humble. I mean, yeah, it can be super cool. It could also be super sketchy. You could get stuck for 3 days trying to get back from yak attack.
I think that would be my favorite part, getting stuck. But at that lodge,
Then you
be
gotta
like, oh, the helicopter out of mechanical. I guess we're gonna fish on this Bluebird day.
Darn it.
It wasn't Bluebird though.
Right. It just didn't. Well, if it was Bluebird, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly. and then you gotta constantly battle, outside factors. You got, the company wants you to be safe, but they also want you to get back so they can send the helicopter
Yeah.
off to make money.
Sure.
You've got your own personal external factors, whether that's wanting to come record a podcast or you got a 5 a.m. flight that
Just
Yeah.
deadline
Yeah.
after deadline
Yeah.
after deadline.
It's
all the
Valentine's
time,
Day.
right? Yeah, exactly. I need to get back
Yeah.
for some reason.
birthdays, anniversaries,
Sure. Yeah.
kids stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It just never ends, right?
No.
Yeah, I get it. It's easy for us to be just city slicker 9-to-5ers. I mean, I say
say
that.
that,
I just mean that in terms of like a life. Like my life has structure. Jack's life has
Yeah.
for in general has structure. But what you're doing doesn't have any structure. It's just the demand of job, and then your life structures around that,
Yes,
which isn't really structure.
no. Well, that's what I'm trying to find. So that's why
Yeah.
I went to this company. They're 21 and 21, and they try and do their best to stick to it.
Yeah.
So you're still going to miss stuff.
Oh, sure.
Every other year.
3 weeks is 3 weeks,
3
man.
weeks is 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But then when you're home, you can, decompress. You don't have to compartmentalize work anymore. You can actually be home.
Sure.
You can be present.
Yeah.
You can get the honey-do list done.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea, where just being gone for 6 months is like,
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
It's
you
brutal.
just zone out on all things life in general, right?
yeah.
This happened, that happened, this birthday, this thing, this tragedy, this thing. Like you're never there for anything.
Yeah, no.
You know?
Like, 2 days ago when I got hung up and wound up at that lodge, I called Michelle and I'm like, yeah, so I called it, you'll laugh. So usually I answer the phone, hey, beautiful, or something like that, right? And I answered, I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, where's my hey honey?
She's like, hey honey, where's the cute shit?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like so wound up and stressed out. I'm just calling her to tell her I'm on the ground, I'm alive.
Yeah. This is just a courtesy check, boo.
I am so wound that I like totally fucked up, and then I felt like shit for it, and I had to call her later and be like, hey, not when.
That's not me.
That's not
I was
me,
just I was
exactly.
in the zone, boo. I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry about that.
And she actually kind of likes the whole business side. She's like, yeah, it's getting shit done. That's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
being able to come home and like decompartmentalize from that
sure.
is what I'm trying to figure out.
I wonder, because I struggle with like taking big extended chunks of time off and then going back into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's a struggle. Like that first week of like I'm off for 3 weeks on a hunt.
Yeah.
I go back to work. I'm like, dude, I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
Like I checked out so fucking far that I can't even get caught up on my emails. I can't even get in the flow. But even though you do, that 21 and 21, do you feel like it won't be that hard? I mean, do you feel like you'll just go back to work and you just rely on your training and the process and the thing that?
So I've never really done that much of a rotation.
Okay.
I mean, I did a little bit of work that was like 14, and then you get back, and it's like, okay, I got to get back in the grind. And
It's like anything else, you just kind of adapt to it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just different. But I mean, you could compare it. It's no different than, I just got back in my truck today when I picked it up at the airport. I hadn't drove in a month. It feels freaking weird.
Yeah.
And then, you're driving, I flew in at 5:30 and I'm trying to go to my hotel uptown and
Oh man,
traffic
traffic,
shit. And you're
yeah.
like, oh, how do I do this?
Yeah.
I'm all like, okay, Forrest, see you at 7.
Yeah,
it's
you're like just doing your thing.
I'm not thinking about anything you just went through.
And,
So,
but it's the same way when you're flying. Like, you first get back in it and you're like, okay, it's always fighting complacency. Okay, you should always pay attention on your pre-flight, but it's like, okay, I'm gonna actually get the checklist and hold it in my hand, and I'm gonna get in the helicopter, and I'm not gonna. Most pilots use a flow, and then double check it with the checklist, and it's like, no, okay, I haven't been in this thing in 3 weeks. I'm gonna go line by line. It's gonna take me 5 minutes instead of 90 seconds.
Yeah.
We're just gonna make sure you get it right.
Nice.
And it's just kind of establishing some sort of a routine. But I haven't done the 21 and 21, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
So there was these two studies, like, because I'm a long-term shift worker. I worked on the slope like for 17 years, basically. But there's two studies. Well, the first one was done with the U.S. military, and it was with people coming home. So they were gone for like 9 months, I think was the average. And they found that the time is in a direct relation to how long you're going, but it's like a fraction. So it's like, and it's an adaptation transition time, and it happens on both sides. So if you're gone for like 9 months, these people needed like 3 weeks before they left and 3 weeks after they came back to kind of go through and readapt. That's like a time that your connection to your significant other isn't normal. Your self-identity at home isn't right. like probably some of this complacency stuff. And then on there's an anxiety period that has the same symptoms on the leaving part, especially after they already did it. So like people from the slope, if they're working 2 weeks, they needed like 3 or 4 days to adapt on each side. Now that's 8 days. Now you're home from like 6 days. So it was something that was a really cool study that was shared with me, because this person that had figured out done the study for the U.S. military had heard about the slope schedule, and they were like really interested, and they found the same relation. Now it has to do with how long you're gone. So, the time, this transition was different in terms of timing, but the symptoms were the same, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like having those conversations, like, hey, like we might be rocky when I get home, and we might be a little rocky when we're leaving, but being able to know why was really healthy for like my relationships and stuff.
We had that exact conversation because, I started looking for work with a real schedule once we decided
you're doing this.
That we're doing this. We're giving this a real shot, right? Yeah. So we talked about it. I was sending resumes out everywhere, and I had, a handful of offers because there's a huge pilot shortage. And we had multiple conversations for hours on end. Okay, 14 and 14, that's going to turn into 12 and 16 real quick with your travel days. And then just that, you got an adjustment period coming back, adjustment period when you leave. All right, that's a little short. I had a job offer that was 28 and 28. You're like, holy fuck, that's a month at a time.
Yeah.
So then we kind of came up with this, well, what about something in between?
Yeah.
And then there's other companies, some places do a week on, week off.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of fucking travel for me.
Tons.
Right? You're in an airport
I've
every
heard
other
that
week.
that's actually worse than the 2 and 2.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, what if we found something with 21 and 21? Because, that extra week when you're gone is going to kind of suck. But then when you're back, you're through that transition. I didn't know there was a study.
Yeah.
Might have to check that out. But
Yeah.
I'll find it and send it to you.
Yeah, it might help you just the thought process. And
I think also like communicating that with the people, with your whoever your significant other, your family, people that care about you, because then everyone's on board and they're like, oh, this is that,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then technology helps immensely. Kind of sometimes you go to these villages or Yakutat or it's like going back in time. All of a sudden, you got an inReach for a text message, or if you're lucky if you get a phone to go through, or maybe you're somewhere with a Starlink, and 10 minutes on a FaceTime is better than 2 hours on a phone call.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Something as simple as
seeing someone's eyes and expression and getting a sense for where they're at mentally. You can see it in their face.
Yeah.
If you're close to somebody, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, because my cousin does, I think, week and weeks, and he has no adjustment time. He's just on the run.
Yeah.
And he comes to town to see his daughter, and then he goes back to work, and he's just got like these 3 or 4 day window. Yeah. And it's like he's always planning. There's nothing settling down. There might be a day or two to do some things, or mow the lawn, or fix the fence, or like some shit. But I think that's where like the 2 and 2 gives you like 2 or 3 days to adapt, reacclimate, catch up on sleep, take the kids to school, get in the groove, and then do some honey-do stuff. And then, oh shit, about 3 days I'm going back to work. I got to start like wrapping my head around my responsibilities. And then it's a two-way street too. It's not just on you, the person working the shift and the traveling. It's the family.
That's right.
And the children and the significant
They're
other.
doing half of it.
Yeah, you got to give respect to both sides because it impacts everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Or you can just be a single, hollow,
I know guys that do that, and I refuse. Like,
that's the thing. I mean, I'm not judging anybody. What I am saying is that it would be really, really hard to come home to a cold bed every day and night. And for some people it works because they're like, hey, I just want it to be my way.
Yeah.
And that works for you. But, coming home to to love and warmth and hot plate or anything like that is, I feel like it's what you need as a human
Yeah.
Yeah.
to connect, you know, whether it's friends or whatever, you know, it's kudos to you guys that work those shifts. I have to say, because I've never done it. And I've been a lifelong Alaskan, right? And you're like, oh man, I got some debt stacking up. I need to pay some bills. I'm going to get a slope job.
Yeah.
I'm going to go work some shifts and make some money.
Go earn it.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this sucks. How many guys you hear like, fuck that, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather just have a day job. And you're like, that whole sloper fucking shift thing is not all it's cracked up to be. It takes a certain person to be equipped for it.
They limit how long you can be up there. The big companies will put a limit on your hedge.
Is it like a month? Is that kind
I
of
think it's less than that now.
Yeah, 3 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
I know that I couldn't work more than 3 when I was there. Yeah, it was, you know, it's bad on the family, and you feel like you're missing out on life when you're there.
Oh, I bet.
But the work is cool, you know, because you're there to work. So it's like a total different work mentality than anywhere else you ever be, because like where else you at, I mean, if you're on a fishing boat, would be about the same. So it's like you're there to get shit done. So everyone gets shit done.
Yeah, everybody's on board with that mentality.
You know, there's no one's like, oh man, I need to like go to the dentist appointment or whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
None
of this shit, you know, or like, oh, we're going home soon, so let's
not
not
really
finish this. You know, it's like, no, we're finishing it and we're moving on to the next thing, so we can do something else tomorrow morning or whatever.
Yeah, so it's a different mentality.
Yeah. So the things that you think would suck about it are maybe a little different, other than like being gone from your family, you know?
Yeah.
And then it like, I mean, for like weddings or whatever, like you kind of just get used to like missing stuff. And then you're like, well, I'll just miss them all then, you know?
Yeah. Just never
when I'm home, my buddies think I'm fishing, but, or I'm at work, but I'm really fishing because I never get to fish.
Right.
Yeah.
And then what I find is like a lot of people will, and it's not all of them, but it's like the ones that you can tell are like, they're not going to be there for the long haul. They're like living for like what they're going to do next and not presently, if that makes sense. But the people that love working there are living presently. It's
That's
like
what
a
I meant
big
by the whole, like, I'm just going to go work the fucking slope for 2 years and buy a house.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to come home and, you know, have a job for $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
But I got this shit because I worked hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep, totally.
But it is a cool, unique opportunity that maybe there's not a lot of those in the States unless you're a helicopter pilot.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that some of the employees on the slope are the highest paid non-college degree people in the world.
I
Probably.
totally believe it.
You know, I mean, it's fucking good. I don't know. Half the slope doesn't live in Alaska, more than that. So they live in Louisiana and Texas and all these other places. So yeah, they come here to do that.
So Forrest, I mean, are we gonna see you again?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Vacation.
All right.
We'll have to come, you know, rent an Overlander.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you going to do? So you're going to drive the Toyota down or Overlander out?
Oh, yeah.
And do your thing
It's
down
a toy.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It got out of proportion. Used it. You know, I didn't pay rent. I lived out of it this summer.
Well,
Nice.
you bought full into the Alaskan lifestyle and what you were going to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Originally. Not that you haven't, you still want to do that. I just, I mean, as far as, like when I met you, your whole plan was totally different.
It was, yeah.
You know, that's okay, man.
I was still kind of thinking about doing the whole, you know, snowbird thing and then just doing the summers up here. But after a full summer of, I mean, I love flying up here. You know, my coworkers are amazing. You know, company's great, but just the aviation industry in Alaska is just a little behind, like some other industries probably.
Yeah.
So these companies in lower 48, they're starting to get closer to airline pay. They're starting to get schedules. I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but you know, going to lower 48 is 100% pay increase. It's not. 10.
Oh no,
shit! It's not 10 or 20 or 30%. It's
because the demand for you is so high.
Double. Yeah. So you know, I got super lucky and with where I'm going and everything else. But
you say lucky, but you earned it through what you've done, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
Try
you
to
got
be humble.
stuck in a beach and wherever with some weird mechanical. I got some fucking moisture in the fuel thing is sketchy.
Oh, well, I think it was electrical, but yeah. No.
But you know what I mean. And then now you got your home run gig.
Yep.
And a lady.
Yeah.
warm weather.
Warm weather.
You can wear your hoodie.
I'm not hating, bro. I'm not hating. You can wear the Road to Ambler and you'll be fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll see someone because
What I-
Alaskans go everywhere.
What I
That's
definitely
right.
need you to do is wear an Alaska Wild Project
Oh,
hoodie
there
that
you
we're
go.
going to put on
Hook me
you
up with
before
that.
you leave here.
Perfect.
Yeah. So make sure you got that
I'll
right.
do that. I'll come back and visit.
Well, we've run pretty long here.
Yeah, man.
Tonight.
Yeah.
I just looked at the phone and it's getting late.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Wrap it up.
Forrest, thank you for coming in. Thanks for making it. Thanks for staying in touch with me this whole summer. Because we talked, and you know how it is. You meet somebody, you get excited. You're like, oh, man, cool story, cool thing. And a lot of times you don't know for sure if it's going to pan out because you just don't know what the future holds.
Well, every time I talk to you, it was like, oh, yeah, I could come in now, but hold on. I'm going to have better stories in a week. Hold on. I'm going to have better stories. Give me 2 weeks. Give me a month.
I'm like, okay,
No,
okay,
I love doing
okay.
this shit. I've done 3
Yeah.
other podcasts, not to this caliber, but
Nice. Yeah. No, you did great, and your story's awesome. You're another example of America, like what a person can, I want to do this, I want to do that. And if you take the steps and you want it bad enough and you work hard enough, the connections are made, luck, skill, sweat equity, things come together for you. Yeah. And you've proven that and shown that. And you're more than welcome to come back here anytime. And as far as I'm concerned, anybody that embraces Alaska, that calls this place home, you're an Alaskan, baby.
yeah.
So
right.
you're forever an Alaskan. For
Yeah,
us.
man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made it.
And you've seen
right.
more Alaska than probably us.
Exactly.
I've probably seen more
You've
Alaska
seen-
than most Alaskans.
Yeah.
Based on that crazy ass
Yeah, should we show
fucking,
that real quick
yeah,
before
let
we
me
leave?
show that fucking thing,
Yeah.
dude. That thing is crazy, dude. Oh, did I airdrop it to myself?
I hope you did.
So he's gonna show
It was a
what
high, wasn't
was
it?
that from your InReach?
Yeah, so this was from May 1st because I didn't have it activated.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is,
There
right
it
at
is,
the
yeah.
top
Yeah, this is just the last 100 days, basically.
of InReach,
Yep,
and
that's-
it's everything
Oh my
from
God,
what's
dude.
that? Yakutat's the
This is
farther south,
Yakutat
That's
to-
Yakutat.
over to
Arrow.
across Cook
Yep.
Inlet, out
That's-
to like
That's Kavik.
This
and
must be
the
like
Saddle Rochets.
Ambler.
yeah, that's the
That's
Ambler.
Ambler.
Yeah.
Then up in the right-hand corner, that's the Saddle Roachet Mountains, which most people don't even know exist in Alaska.
Is this Toke right here?
That's actually
Or-
north of Toke and Chicken, up by
Chicken.
Chicken,
Oh, yeah.
on
Chicken.
Taylor Mountain.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is probably Toke.
That's Toke.
Yeah.
yeah.
Man, that's so cool, dude. And you did this in 100 days?
100 days.
So you've certainly seen
So
more of
cool.
Alaska than most Alaskans.
And that
That's
doesn't
right.
count the times I mean,
Oh, that's
I didn't have it
crazy.
on when I was in Homer or
Oh,
across
yeah.
the bay.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Just-
mean, it wouldn't
Yeah.
even show up right here, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. That is so cool. Well, thanks again, Forrest.
Yeah, thanks for having
You have
me.
a great story, man.
Yeah, man. The story of perseverance. Thanks for coming in,
Thanks.
dude. And
Yeah.
it's good luck to you in the future. And just like everything else has changed, and you don't kind of know exactly where it goes. I hope it's in a super awesome direction that you love, man.
Yeah.
I'll stay in
And
touch. And get
good
a
luck
hold
to
of when
you
I
and your
visit.
lady and
Yeah.
a new relationship, a new chapter in life and connection. And I think everything's going to work out for you, man. It seems to be going in the right direction.
Thanks.
So, yeah.
All right, guys. Well, check out our Patreon.
That's
And
right.
as always, Alaska.
Stay wild. There you go.
You
Right. There it
remember
is.
my speaking to you of what I call your overcautiousness. Are you not overcautious when you assume that you cannot do what the enemy is constantly doing?
The Alaska Wild Project podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Barney's Sports Chalet, supplying hunters with the best hand-selected gear since 1963. The exclusive home of frontier gear built for the rugged Alaskan terrain. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor needs. Visit Barney's today at 906 West Northern Lights.
Big Rays, the Alaskan outfitter, committed to outfitting Alaskans across the state since 1947. Whether you're a recreator, parent, guide, or corporate buyer, Big Rays has the gear you need, tailored for Alaska's harsh conditions. Check out their new exclusive line of Auralic waders. Big Rays for all your outdoor gear and rugged work attire. BigRays.com.
Tailored Restoration 24-hour emergency home services, helping Alaskans restore their dreams since 1972. Services include fire, water, mold, post-emergency cleaning, repair, and remodeling. Give them a call in Anchorage, Eagle River, Matsu, or Fairbanks. Hit them up at tailoredrestorationalaska.com.
Total Truck and Alaska Overlander, Alaska's premier supplier for custom automotive accessories and overlanding products, providing all-inclusive rental vehicles and trailers custom outfitted to explore the Alaskan backcountry with a unique and convenient traveling experience.
TheTreehouseAK.com, located at 341 Boniface Parkway, Alaska's own and grown cannabis and CBD store. Ask the bud tender what the strain of the day is to get your 10% off. The Treehouse, where the culture lives. AKO Farms, located in Sitka, Alaska, built from the ground up with concentrates as their single motivation, with exclusive products such as their sugar wax, full spectrum diamond sauce carts, and more. Ask your local bud tender about AKO.
Marijuana has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming and addictive. Marijuana impairs concentration, coordination, and judgment. Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence. There are health risks associated with consumption of marijuana. For the use of only by adults 21 and older. Keep out of the reach of children, and marijuana should not be used by women who are pregnant or breastfeeding.
The Bait Shack, located on Ship Creek upstream of the bridge. Can't miss the bright red shack. They're the go-to fishing gear rental and guide service on Ship Creek. Tight lines and fish on. Come hook into the action with them. Hit them up at thebaitshackak.com.
Lawn Pro AK, Alaska's year-round professional property maintenance team. Services include weekly lawn care, custom landscaping, fertilizing, weed control, turf repair, and more. Schedule your free estimate at lawnproak.com.
Alaska's OG cider company, Double Shovel, crafting gluten-free colonial-style ciders, founded as a healthier, non-inflammatory brew option. Drop by their Pop and Tap room in Anchorage off of 58th and Arctic, or visit the second location in Kodiak. Double Shovel, award-winning ciders.
The Alaska chapter of Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. BHA is the voice of our Alaskan public lands, waters, and wildlife. Their goal is to uphold our hunting and fishing legacy while keeping our public lands wild. Stand up today and join BHA at backcountryhunters.org.
Should you not claim to be at least his equal in prowess and act upon the claim? I say try. If we never try, we shall never succeed. This proposition is a simple truth, and it's too important to be lost sight of for a moment. If we cannot beat the enemy where he now is, we never can. It is all easy if our troops march as well as the enemy, and it is unmanly to say they cannot do it.